Folks in East Lansing for year 2 of the Jonathan Smith era, for a proud program looking to get back into a bowl game. The students are back on campus. The players are ready for kickoff. The coaches are ready for kickoff. It's Michigan State taking on Western Michigan here at Spartans Stadium, and they are absolutely rocking. Hello, everybody. Welcome inside our broadcast booth here at Spartan Stadium alongside Petros Papadakis. I am Dan Hellie, and hope springs eternal for every college football team in the land when Game 1 rolls around.
Oh, it's exciting. This one's going to be great. Jonathan Smith and Michigan State expected to take a big step in year 2, and Lance Taylor and Western Michigan, a bowl team and a tough physical MAC test for the Spartans.
And that hope offensively for Michigan State riding on the shoulders of Nick Marsh and second-year quarterback Aiden Childs, his second full season as a starter. One of the more dynamic duos you will see in college football. An up-and-down first year as a starter for Childs last year at Michigan State, but he's made progress on and off the field.
He has. He was the #1 quarterback in the transfer portal a couple off seasons ago, came with his coach, Jonathan Smith, and struggled with some turnovers. But one thing that was not a struggle was Nick Marsh. This guy, as a freshman, an all Big Ten performer, big, strong, and fast. They could, Aiden Childs and Marsh, end up being the best throwing, catching duo in the Big Ten this year. That is not hyperbole. These guys have that ability. We'll see what they can do around them.
Now, the Broncos going to roll out a 2-quarterback system. Both of those quarterbacks going to be leaning heavily on their running back, Jalen Buckley, a former MAC freshman of the year.
Yeah, he was great his freshman year. Not bad last year, a little banged up, but Buckley looks like a real Big Ten back and a bell cow, a guy that can carry the ball 25 times a game. You see his size. He's fast. He's very smart with the system. He knows what it's like to play at Western Michigan. This will be a great test for the Spartans defense.
Spring ball's in the books, summer training camp is over, and the regular season has arrived, soon to be under the Friday night lights here at Spartan Stadium. Kickoff is coming up from East Lansing. FS1 College Football is sponsored by the Starbucks Coffee Company. A beautiful night here in East Lansing at Spartan Stadium. 63 degrees, little to no humidity, little to no wind. This is just how Petros likes it. The 2025 season about to get underway.
It's a beautiful night in East Lansing, and
Quite
the
a bit
students showed up.
Quite a bit different, P, than the last time we were here to wrap up the season in the snow when the Spartans took on Rutgers. And the student section was basically full about an hour before kickoff. Michigan State going to kick off. It's going to be the punter Ryan Eckley, who is the kickoff specialist. Devin Miles deep to return for the Broncos. And here we go. Miles going to bring it out. And he is met hard at the 15-yard line. Ball's on the ground. Broncos come up with it. And they've been waiting to hit somebody else all summer long, Petros.
I think it's Devin Cromwell, number 27. Yeah, right there with the big hit. Setting the tone on special teams. The Spartans are right away.
And rolling out as the starting quarterback is Brady Jones from Riverside Community College. His numbers were absolutely off the charts. That is not a misprint. He threw for 44 touchdowns last year, nearly 4,500 yards, averaging 371 per game. First play, they're going to go to the air, looking left side, got him! The Broncos with the completion, the first play of the game to Talik Williams, the Georgia State transfer.
They knew exactly where they wanted to go, and they knew the matchup that they wanted to exploit. They're going with tempo, trying to keep the Spartans off guard, getting after Joshua Eaton, the cornerback, right away with Talik Williams. What a throw.
35-yard gain for the Broncos, fresh set of downs in plus territory. And keeping it himself is Brady Jones. Coaches told us he has better wheels than you might expect.
He's got to put his shoe on here, so that gives us a second to look at that. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. Not bad coverage by Eaton, but plenty of space on that sideline to lay the ball in there and for Williams to make the catch. Beautifully executed. This guy really is an Inland Empire, California slinger, proving it right off the bat at Spartan Stadium.
2nd and 6 for the Broncos. Jones rolling to his right, has time, finds a receiver. Once again, it's Williams.
Showing what he can do on the move. 3 things: standing up and throwing a long ball. 2nd play, runs the ball for a positive gain. 3rd play, rolling to the right and making another nice throw to Williams. What a start for the Broncos.
As we take a look at the starting lineup, the tight end Blake Bosma is their leading receiving touchdown maker. Keep an eye on him, as they are clearly not afraid to go to the air here. Going to tuck it and run. Is Brady Jones making his first career start in college since moving over from JUCO, big-time college, I should say.
We're talking about Jalen Buckley in the open, but all it's been is Brady Jones running the ball twice and throwing the ball with a lot of confidence to Talik Williams right off the bat. 2nd and short, a very positive spot for play caller Walt Bell, who's doing a great job so far in this one.
This time they do keep it on the ground, met in the backfield right away. Grady Kelly, the defensive tackle, and Florida State transfers there.
They try to run their stretch zone, and Grady Kelly crosses the face and gets in there. Michigan State's defense is going to play a lot of guys tonight. Dunnigan is a returning starter. Jordan Hall is probably the best player on their defense at the linebacker position. They're without their great safety, Martinez, but Malcolm Bell and Eaton, some good transfer corners. Eaton's already got beaten deep once.
Early task for the Michigan State defense here, 3rd and 5 for the Broncos. Down to the 25-yard line, the defense answers the call. Eaton, first man there.
Trying a little misdirection there to squirt the quarterback out to the left side, with the action going to the right, and a great job staying home and pursuing by Eaton.
And it looks like they're going to go for it. Not afraid to run trick plays, but no trick play needed here on 4th and 4. Let's see if they're just trying to draw them off sides, or they're going to run a play. Jones going to throw. Looks right side. And lucky that wasn't picked off. Ade Willie in coverage for the Spartans.
Ade Willie is their nickel, can also play a little corner. You see the combo route with the trips, and the ball was just a little bit behind Talik Williams. Had he come out of that break and the ball was there, it could have been a first down situation for Western Michigan. And now quick change. Spartans out on the field with their offense, really kind of dodging a bullet with that very positive opening drive from Lance Taylor's Broncos.
And look at the numbers for Aiden Childs. 13 touchdown passes, 11 interceptions. Those 11 interceptions, the most by any quarterback in the Big Ten. Now, he did get better as the season went along. No interceptions in the last 3 games, but that has certainly been a point of emphasis in the offseason. Kai Frazier getting the start at running back. And here's Frazier. Up the middle, finding some room, picks up 6, maybe 7. Augie Johanningsmeyer on the stop for Western Michigan.
So much of what the Spartans need to do this year is improve this offensive line, and the 2 transfers, Goulbin and Moore, are really expected to do that at the center and right tackle position. We talked about how much we love their receiving group. Omari Kelly is a great transfer, supposed to help out Nick Marsh out of Middle Tennessee State, started his career at Auburn. Now they're in the eye.
Brittany Tolis and Jay Coyne, quick pass out to the left side. That is caught. And that's a first down for Omari Kelly. That's who we were talking about. They said He was the most targeted receiver in the offseason. The guy's a catching machine.
Well, they pack him in and move the fullback to the opposite side. Nice call by Brian Lindgren, the offensive coordinator for the Spartans. Get the ball into the hands of Amari Kelly, who's had, as you said, a great camp and is really expected to balance out either side of the field. So Aiden Childs has a little bit less pressure to always try to get the ball to Nick Marsh.
Childs looks to throw, then he does. Pass complete to the left side. Here's Marsh. Picking up a couple as we take a look at the Western Michigan defense now. This was a group last year that struggled a bit, giving up 31 points per game, brought in 33 overall transfers. James Camden, one of the linebackers, is looking to hold things down. And Tate Halleck, former Michigan State Spartan, back in the stadium in which he played 3 seasons. He is a 7th-year safety for Western Michigan.
Brand new coordinator for the Broncos and Chris O'Leary. A lot of mystery out there as to what they're actually going to look like.
There's Frazier tripped up as he gets through the hole, going to be short of the first down. Dame Tucker got a hand on him.
And they want to get more of a push there if they're going to run that big stretch zone to the right and get everybody moving that way. Jonathan Smith wants to see more push from that offensive line coming from Oregon State. A lot of Northwest cred, a lot of West Coast credit, getting the Michigan State job and bringing Aiden Childs. But last year, there was a lot to clean up. This year, they're hoping they take a big step.
Takes the handoff to Tolis, completes it outside. And that's Jack Velling, the big tight end, who Childs has been with since their Oregon State days.
Yeah, speaking of the Beavs, they get the ball to Jack Velling, who's been a little bit banged up in camp. Just runs a quick look route to the outside. Nicely delivered by Childs, who's thrown 3 short balls thus far in this one. And Velling getting a little taste of it, getting hit after not really having a lot of action in camp. Nice first down by the Spartans.
And fakes the handoff to Tolis, pressure coming. And Childs continues to look downfield, has a man, over the arms of the intended receiver. Just couldn't find him. It was Tolis who was open. Pressure coming from Dame Tucker.
Well, this is very interesting here because Brandon Tullis is their big bruising back at 230 pounds. Childs out there creating, sees Tullis and leads him perfectly, but he leads Tullis like he was a wide receiver. And Tullis doesn't get his legs going in time to catch up with that ball. That's very hard for a running back to do, especially a big back. Just a little bit of miscommunication on the personnel out there as to how to throw that ball.
On 2nd and 10, keeping it on the ground. And met about 3 yards shy of the line to gain is Frazier. Tate Halleck, the former Spartan, on the tackle.
And we were talking about Frazier and Halleck, who has been here at Michigan State, has a great relationship with the new coordinator, Chris O'Leary, and a huge game for him. He's good size, 6'4", 210 pounds. And Chris O'Leary, who was with the Los Angeles Chargers last year, said he's going to use Tate Halleck a little bit like they used Derwin James. If he's anything like Derwin James, I like the Broncos defense this year.
Yeah, I think they're in pretty good shape. Keep on the ground again. Room for Frazier. Inside the 20-yard line, dagged down at the 16. It's Jaden Lyles with the touchdown-saving stop.
This is what they need from Frazier. This is what they need from their offensive line. You see that good push, nice little double team. Everybody building to the linebackers and the second level on the offensive line. Frazier sees the hole, and that feels good for the people in Spartan Stadium to see that run game going.
28-yard gain for Mekhi Frazier. Jay Coyne once again in at fullback, lining up in front of Frazier. The toss to Frazier. And he picks up a couple before he's met by Ray Stewart and Halleck. Halleck's been very active here early on.
Big hit at the end of that play for Frazier, and he's going to take a play off. You're going to see Coyne, the fullback, right there. They like to use him, and this is just old school, almost just like a pitch play. Comes out to the right, makes a nice block, pancakes Javarius Sims, and a good first down gain for Michigan State, trying to make a statement with this run game early.
Big Brandon Tullis checking in at tailback, goes 6'1", nearly 230 pounds. He's the hammer for this offense. And here's Tullis putting his head down and into the end zone. First touchdown of the season for the Spartans, courtesy of Brandon Tullis.
Well, that's what they want to see in East Lansing. They absorb the punch from Western Michigan's offense, take over on downs, and move the ball efficiently down the field, running the ball, especially to that right side behind new center Matt Goulbin, Caleb Carter at guard, and Connor Moore, the transfer from Montana State, at right tackle. Well done.
Keep your eye on the operation here. Blake Sislow up and good. A walk-on kicker that joined the team 2 weeks before camp started, kicking in a college football game for the first time ever. Michigan State getting it done here early at home against the Broncos, up 7-0. Welcome back to East Lansing, and that's how Jonathan Smith drew it up all offseason long. First drive, 10 plays, 74 yards. Brandon Tullis caps it with a 12-yard touchdown run, his first career touchdown. As it stands right now, Michigan State on top 7-0.
Both teams have moved the ball well on their first drive. Western, 7 plays, 57 yards. Michigan State taking it down the field and being very physical, especially with that right side. And the other thing that really stood out to me about Jonathan Smith's guys is just that beautiful, effortless release that Aiden Childs has at the quarterback position. And there's big swole Lance Taylor.
There he is, third season as the Western Michigan head coach. Took him to a bowl game last year. Looks like he could still play, P, just like you.
Yeah, well, he's got the cutoff sleeves on the sweatshirt and then kind of like the form fitting so he can look extra swole.
Ball returned out to the 20-yard line. Another big hit on Devin Miles. And this Michigan State squad is coming out ready to lay the hammer. That's 2 kickoffs in a row where they laid a wood just a little bit. So we told you about the 2-quarterback system. It does look like Brady Jones is coming out for his second consecutive drive. Brock Lowry is waiting in the wings for the Broncos.
Well, he looked good on the first drive. I would say that he earned another one, and they weren't afraid to run him. A couple of run plays called for him, designed runs. We saw Buckley a little bit, but not enough if you're a Western Michigan fan.
And keep it on the ground on first down, and not a whole lot going. Jordan Hall got in there on the tackle. And Brady Jones at Riverside Community College, we talked about the numbers. They were absolutely astronomical. Nearly 4,500 passing yards, 44 touchdown passes.
Oh, and even with the push there, look at that.
Elite arm talent. Lance Taylor says one of the best quarterbacks that he has been around in terms of arm talent, but you know, you got to adjust. A little different from the junior college game when you get to this level. And
there's last year's starter, Brock Lowry, yeah.
And again, keeping it on the ground with Buckley, who's about 3 yards shy of the first down. Jalen Thompson on the stop. They're going to bring up 3rd and short.
Well, they just try to get themselves calmed down again, get behind this offensive line. They have a couple of returners in John Hofer and Adam Vandervest, this Western Michigan O-line, and get Jalen Buckley going. If you have a big back like that, it's kind of like having a car in a garage. You got to warm it up and keep it going so it can help you as the game goes on. Now they have a 2-back set.
That's Williams going in motion. And that's where they go. And Williams picks up the first down before he's wrapped up and taken out of bounds by Malik Spencer.
Nice call by Walt Bell to get Talik Williams in the backfield and change up the matchup. Match him up with Malik Spencer, the safety, and get the ball to him quickly for the first down. Well executed by the Broncos.
Here's Miles, and there's nowhere to swallow it up by that Spartan defense. Quindarius Dunnigan was the first guy there, but he had company.
Well, they tried to pull Adam Vandervest and some others to get to the other side, but look at the penetration from the Spartans already in the backfield, just not allowing the play to develop as Dunnigan is right there. That sets back the Broncos to a real second and long situation.
Quick pass again. That's going to pick up a couple, sets up 3rd and long, and it's Talik Williams.
Yeah, he's been everything as far as the perimeter goes thus far for the Broncos. Made a lot of catches and seems to have a great motor. Young man out of Pine Mountain, Georgia, Georgia State transfer.
Picks up 5 to set up 3rd and 9. Looks like they're going to call timeout here, I believe.
A little bit of confusion. A lot of guys coming in and out for Michigan State, and that is going to be one of the themes of their defense this year. The old Tom Izzo strength in numbers.
3rd and long for Western Michigan when we're back. Welcome back to East Lansing. Michigan State on top 7-0. There was some confusion on the field. A timeout was called. Mike Pereira joining us now, but it was an official timeout, not charged to either team. What happened there, Mike?
Yeah, well, really, Western Michigan, they actually didn't substitute. They didn't look like they substituted. But see that player that ran on at the 28-yard line, turned around and went back? That counts as a substitution. So now Michigan State gets a chance to match up. But they have to match up within 3 seconds. They got to leave a player leaving the sideline. And watch, they're going to get late players come on now, really late player. So now they're guilty. So they ended up putting that all together and saying, look, let's just not charge a delay. Let's not charge a timeout. Let's just kind of tell the coaches, here's what happened. And that's what got this a little bit screwed up.
Oh, Count Sacramento coming through every time and looking good this year.
Always does, always does. So the long and short of it, we're looking at 3rd and 9 for Brady Jones and the Broncos. Empty set for Jones. Climbing the pocket, ball's out. Jones jumps back on it. It was Anelu Lefele who got a hand on it. And that brings up 4th down for Western Michigan.
Yeah, Lefele was coming really hard on that edge, and it looked like Jones was going to be able to push up and make a throw down the field, but at the last second, he gets that paw out and slaps the ball. Look at that. Yeah, gets that ball out. What a play. Rushing the passer from Lefele, and that's a position that they're really looking for people to step up.
Ryan Milmore punting to Kelly, who calls for the fair shot inside the 20-yard line. Defense is the ticket. The punt, 43 yards. Michigan State trying to add to their 7-point lead here at home in the open. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Since the moment it was announced, everybody said, I'm watching it no matter where I am. The Arch Manning era kicking off with a playoff rematch for the ages as #1 ranked Texas takes on the defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked 3rd in the country on Big Noon Saturday. Coverage begins with Big Noon kickoff live from Columbus at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow on Fox.
Pre-game and post-game intrigue.
I mean, how good is that? So Michigan State looking to add to their lead. Frazier in the backfield once again. Play action. Childs looking over the middle. And he got his man, Amari Kelly, with another catch for the Spartans. That is catch number 2.
This is where they had some trouble last year, dropping Aiden Childs back a traditional amount and just letting him survey the field. A little bit of a play fake there, but you see the ball come out, and he has developed a great relationship with Omari Kelly, who came from Middle Tennessee State and lit spring football and camp up.
Picked up 14 on that one. Keeping it on the ground here are the Spartans. Nice, tough running by Frazier. You know, we talked a little bit in the open about Nick Marsh, but he's gotten a lot of help. Listen, offense was the main problem for this team last year. They addressed the offensive line, and they addressed the wide receiver position through the portal. All of these guys very productive at their old schools, and Omari Kelly proven to be the alpha. Not only did he spend time at Middle Tennessee State, but he started his career at Auburn.
Yeah, Krishawn McCray, a slot guy. Evan Boyd with a nice catch radius out of Central Michigan.
Frazier on 2nd and 3. Wrapped up quickly by Dame Tucker.
Dame Tucker really selling out there, getting up the field and then sacrificing his body and laying out and making the play to force a 3rd and short.
Third and 2 to be exact. They might have drawn the Broncos offside. Child's going to take a shot. And we do have a flag down. I think it might have been Dame Tucker who jumped for the Broncos.
Yeah, it looked like Childs knew he had a free play and just slung it out there to the
Defense,
left side.
Number 11. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Jason Nickleby, our referee tonight. As we have reached the end of the quarter, the Spartans are on the move in their season opener. That was the first penalty of the game for either team, so a clean game so far. Through 1 quarter, Michigan State looking to add to their lead on the other side.
Spartans up 7 as the 2nd quarter begins against the Broncos, and we talked about this running game and how they have to get the offensive line fixed. Well, the right side looks great. Even the left side zone plays are bouncing back to the right. Frazier, then Tullis scoring the touchdown, and it's really Connor Moore, that right tackle, the Montana State transfer, who's really stepped up for them. They flipped the line now, so he's on the left side. They told us they were going to do that. This is a very talented guy, can play both sides, and that body can bend.
This is Elijah Tolliver, who's wrapped up right away in the backfield by the safety Joey Pope. Nice open field tackle.
Michigan State really trying to roll everybody out there to the left, and a nice job. You see him identified there by Joey Pope, knifing in, not hesitating, and getting to the motor of Tolliver, who is the most experienced back for Michigan State, but his experience mostly came at Sacramento State, where he was a very, very heavy load rusher, kind of like Cam Scattaboo.
Childs looking to right side, a little bit high, but hauled in by Omari Kelly.
Now that is what Childs can do, Dan. I mean, that's a almost opposite hash throw. That is not an easy throw, and it just looks effortless for him. That ball just flies out of his arm, and like you said, a little high, but Kelly can go up and make the play. And what a receiver he's turning out to be in this 1st half.
Picked up 10, brings up 3rd and 5 for the Spartans. Tullis checking in at running back. Aiden keeping it himself. Breaks 1 tackle and cannot elude Sefa Sapaio.
Nice play by Sefa. He's one of their starting linebackers. Transferred in the summer. He's getting a good vibe for this Western Michigan defense. Hasn't had a lot of time to learn it. Looked to me like Aiden Childs had a little bit of a hole earlier to cut up the field. They were going to call some design runs for him. That time I thought he bubbled out a little bit too much. 4th and 4, though, be an interesting call from Brian Lindgren.
From the 42, remember they're out their 2 best kickers, so that obviously not even close to an option in this situation. Childs going to the other side again, and once again it's complete to Omari Kelly. It's been the Makai Frazier and Amari Kelly show early on. Another 10-yard gain for the transfer from Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, they just don't have an answer for him right now. One-on-one, it's Aaron Wofford, the corner in coverage, a senior and a longtime Bronco. And Kelly is just coming out of those breaks beautifully, really on the same page with Childs, who's on the money with his throws thus far. What a conversion.
Big fourth down conversion for the Spartans. Childs with a little pump fake. And the flags are flying. Nick Marsh looked to the referee right away. And he got the flag he was looking for.
Well, Marsh is their premier receiver. We talked about him in the open. What a special player he is and how much juice he has in that big body.
Number 5. Spot foul, automatic, first down.
Marsh is on the inside there. They run a little combo route. Gets hit there, and then grabbing a hold is Wofford. Gives up the first down on the other side. Play previous, this play, PI.
So the ball on the 21-yard line. Frazier, left side, spins out of one tackle, and he's wrapped up at the 15. Frazier has nearly 60 yards here, and all last season, 21 yards total.
Look at that beautiful push by Connor Moore on Tyson Lee. Nice job to rally and minimize the gain by the rest of the Broncos, but Connor Moore is just a stud out there.
It's been a long time since they've had a lead back. Kenneth Walker, the last one, of course, playing in the NFL now with the Seahawks. Childs has a man wide open. Masunis inside the 10-yard line for Michigan State.
That's one of the, they're going to play 3 tight ends. Jack Velling really is the premier guy, but this is Masunis just running a drag route. Childs nice and easy on the move, gets the ball to him. Joshua Franklin with the stop, but now first and goal for Michigan State on what has been a really good-looking drive. They're in control the way they want to be. Creative play calling, getting to the ball of the receivers and the tight ends they want, and steady dose of the run game.
The big back Tullis is in. He scored their first touchdown. Childs, pressure coming, lets it go, has a man. Touchdown, Michigan State. It's Nick Marsh. He is a freshman no more, but everybody knows who he is these days.
They run like a crossing route. You're going to see him cross, and that ball takes a second to get there. He's got to slow up to get it, but his body's so big, he gets in between he and the defender. Really nicely done by Marsh, other than the catch he had earlier in the game with the catch and run after. His first real impact on this one.
Sislo up and in, his second extra point of the game. And everything clicking on all cylinders for Aiden Childs and the Spartans. Get used to this connection, folks. You're going to be seeing it a ton. Almost identical to their first drive, Michigan State, 10 plays, 75 yards, nearly 6 minutes of clock. The only difference is this wasn't a touchdown run, but a touchdown pass by Aiden Childs to Nick Marsh. And the Spartans on top 14-0 at home. Devin Miles is deep for Western Michigan, who is trying to make something happen here in the unfriendly confines for them of Spartan Stadium. Offensively, Michigan State has been fantastic. Eckley kicking off. Miles Lets it roll through the end zone. Take another look at that touchdown. A nicely drawn up play for Michigan State.
Yeah, Coach Lindgren knows what he's doing. Great play caller. You got Bullard Jr., the slot guy, crossing with Nick Marsh. And the idea is that Wofford, the corner, is not going to be fast enough to run with Nick Marsh all the way across the field through all that traffic. Giles back in a rocking chair with plenty of time and even fading back when he makes the throw, which is why it took a little bit longer to get there. But well drawn up play. The way too early reviews are in on Aiden Childs, Dan, and they're all positive.
Third drive in a row for Brady Jones. Coxie kind of fakes the pass and then finally lets it go. That was a day Willie there to break it up.
Brady Pretzlaff, a fun young linebacker they like in the area. Looked like he tried to dirt that screen because he didn't like the development of it, but it ended up near Blake Bosma, the tight end.
Second and 10 for the Broncos. Here's Buckley. And nothing going. Malik Spencer, the first guy there, met him right at the line of scrimmage.
One of those guys that doesn't come out, Malik Spencer, a returning starter getting into the line of scrimmage to make a tackle from the safety position. But you see the lack of push that Western is getting.
Jones let it go up the left side, nothing going.
There was a lot of contact with the tight end Bosma about 10 yards before that. No flag, and that's a really bad look at drive for Coach Taylor's Broncos.
The Broncos' best drive of the game was their first drive of the game. They went for it on fourth down in plus territory, which makes sense, right? When you're Western Michigan playing on the road against a Big Ten team to open up your season, not able to convert. And since then, they haven't been able to get much going.
That's very tough for the Broncos because they've given up 2 10-play drives to the Spartans, and their defense is tired. That was only a 31-second drive. That's not good enough, especially with the big back that they have.
Delay a game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
Some of these things are the first game blues, getting everybody on and off the field and organized in the right way. Fourth down, getting the punt unit out there. Broncos suffer a delay of game. Not often penalized team, as you see the stat there. Very disciplined coach is Lance Taylor.
Well, plenty of room for Ryan Milmore to get into one here. A career long of 60 yards. Let's see what he can dial up. Kelly back deep, calls for the fair catch. Just inside the 30-yard line. Let's see what this Michigan State offense can do after a 51-yard punt from Ryan Milmore. And we do have a flag down. Check that, no flag.
Well, it's good to hear that they're playing a little Greek music here.
I knew you would like it. You feel right at home here.
You know, I mean, I've been to Sparta. Most of the people in this stadium haven't. Well, there is a flag.
Immediate timeout.
All right, holding was called. Michigan State going to get the ball back. What they're hoping for is more of the same. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Since he was in 8th grade, they've been calling him Mini Megatron or Megatron 2.0. Nick Marsh grew up in Detroit, so he's used to it. It's been a while since he's been compared to one of the game's greatest. To look at the numbers, not so many at 6'3", 203, Petros.
He's a great-looking player, and you get up close to him, and you can see why there's a lot of buzz about him. And to be a true freshman on a team that was struggling and still be an all Big Ten receiver, considering all the guys catching the ball in this conference, very impressive. And if he can take another step this year, just an unbelievable ceiling on Nick Marsh. And you see what Omari Kelly's been doing on the other side. That makes him free one-on-one coverage. Great for Aiden Childs.
Keeping it on the ground, and the big fella Tullis finds some room on the right side, wrapped up by Joey Pope after a gain of 7. Yeah, Nick Marsh set a freshman record last year, 41 catches, 649 yards. The only freshman receiver in the Big Ten who was better was Jeremiah Smith. These two absolutely outstanding. And Marsh, there can't be anybody happier on this Michigan State roster with the addition of Kelly and Bullard and Krishan McCray, who we haven't called his name yet, but all these guys going to produce big things this year for Michigan State. 2nd and 2, first down Michigan State. And you can see kind of the thunder and lightning routine they have going with Frazier and Tullis. You know, coming into the season, the backfield had 14 combined carries at the FBS level.
Look at how much push that they're getting on this right side. That is very impressive. I mean, Tullis isn't even getting hit until he's 4 yards into the line of scrimmage. And that is exactly what Coach Mahalchek, the offensive line coach of the Spartans, and Jonathan Smith needed to fix about this football team from year 1 to year 2.
Childs over the middle, and who else? Amari Kelly. Catch number 5, and we're midway through the 2nd quarter.
This guy has already had a great game and really helped this offense. Nice play action. Bringing the tight end across, Velling to make a block. Ball a little bit behind, but Omari Kelly picking up his quarterback and making an athletic play.
That was a tremendous catch to reach behind as he's running almost full speed. You can see why they love him so much here in East Lansing. Nowhere to go for Childs. He's wrapped up by Dylan Moore.
Nice play by Dylan Moore, the junior out of Indianapolis. Limited time last year. They run kind of a mesh, and Childs pulls the ball. And I'm not sure if he gave it, it would have been much better of a situation to Tullis. A lot of penetration that time by Coach O'Leary's defense for Western Michigan. You see what they've done running the ball thus far. Really good first half.
Creeping up on 100 yards here in the first half. Childs looking to go to the air. Pressure coming. They got him. It's Dame Tucker.
Dame Tucker's been very solid at the edge. We've seen him make a couple plays in this game. That was one of the biggest plays of the night thus far for Western Michigan, trying to create something positive and get the ball back to their offense. You see him one-on-one with Ramil, Stanton Ramil, the very highly recruited left tackle, and he gets the bull rush and then gets to the outside. Childs does not push up in time. He makes a physical sack.
Broncos looking for a spark, and right now the defense is providing it. Loss of 7 on the sack. It's 3rd and 22, keeping it on the ground with Frazier. And again, it's Dame Tucker. He's everywhere on the tackle for the Broncos D.
Conservative call there by Lindgren. Getting that right side working again. Bringing out the punt team to work the situation.
So out comes Eckley, who handles kickoff duties. He's also going to kick long field goals. As I mentioned earlier, Martin Connington, Tarek Ahmet Basic, they're 2 scholarship kickers, both injured right now. So they have a walk-on and Blake Sislow kicking. He'll handle the short kicks, and Eckley's going to handle the rest. Talik Williams lets the line drive bounce, and that was a mistake. Downed inside the 2-yard line. And that's Alante Brown. Special team stepping up for Michigan State after the offense stopped for the first time tonight. The Indy Series rolling into Nashville for the season finale, where Alex Palou looks to cap his historic campaign. Sunday, 2 Eastern on Fox. Petros, I bet you can't do this. Zeke the Wonder Dog getting things done. Look at the wheels.
I have strong teeth. My wheels aren't what they used to be. Zeke's looking good.
He looks great. He can jump, and he's probably hitting about 22 miles an hour out there. Broncos keeping it on the ground, nothing going as they are swarmed by that defense. Brady Jones still in at quarterback, so we have yet to see Brock Lowry. Lance Taylor told the media earlier in the week and confirmed with us that both quarterbacks would play. The entire first half thus far has been the junior college transfer from Riverside Community College, Brady Jones. 2nd and 9. Buckley alongside Jones in the backfield. Jones looking to throw. Jones down in the end zone. It's a safety. Did he get rid of it or not? That's the question. Looks like they're calling it an incomplete pass. It was Dunnigan with the pressure. Got rid of it at the last moment. Let's see what they rule this. Ruled an incomplete pass on the field. Looks like the discussion is ongoing.
That's Adam Vandervest, the left tackle, somebody that they cannot afford to lose. Down on the field. What happened here, Jones holding it just a little bit too long as you see Quindarius Dunnigan come in and make that play, and he just gets rid of it at the very last second.
He's on top of a body here, which enabled him to get rid of the ball. We're back in East Lansing after this. Welcome back to East Lansing. So here's another look at the play in the end zone. Brady Jones taken down by Quindarius Dunnigan, but he's on a body here and able to get rid of the ball. There was a receiver in the vicinity, so it was ruled an incomplete pass. 3rd and 9 now for Jones and the Bronco offense. Quick pass, tipped in the air, and it's hauled in, but shy of the first down. That was Avion Chenault hauling in. Great concentration there by Chenault, but they're going to have to bring in the punt unit.
That ball looks like it got tipped at the line of scrimmage, but at least some breathing room for the Broncos just to get the punt off. Tough start for Lance Taylor's guys on offense.
Kelly back again, calls for the fair catch. And around the 46-yard line. And he's looking around potential interference. Let's check in with Mike Hill, find out what's coming up on the halftime show.
Coming up at the half, a new era for Coach Prime's Buffs. How will they perform against Georgia Tech? A sneaky good matchup between Auburn and Baylor over on Fox. And we head to Columbus to preview tomorrow's showdown between Texas and Ohio State. It's going to be a good one. But not as good as you, Dan and Petros. See you fellas at that.
Mike, you're too kind. Student section's rocking, Petros.
Yeah, they showed up early, like you said, and very exciting. Got some religious accoutrement.
Well, they certainly like what they've seen from Michigan
Great
State
crowd.
thus far. Here's Childs rolling out after faking the handoff to Frazier. He does have some room to run. And he's run out of bounds at the 50-yard line by Dame Tucker, who's been all over the place for this Western Michigan offense. And after 2 straight scoring drives that were almost identical, they punted for the first time today.
Yeah, Western Michigan was able to get a couple of negative plays, a sack on Aiden Childs. They force a punt, but great special teams by the Spartans. They down it inside the 1, get a near safety, and they're right back in business at the 50-yard line. Well executed by Jonathan Smith's team. Playing really well early.
Quick pass, the left side by Childs. And here is that man again, Amari Kelly. Looked like he might have taken it the distance if it wasn't for Micah Davis.
And they really did have a mismatch with numbers, it looked like. Just out there all alone is Joshua Franklin, and he's being blocked. Like you said, Micah Davis is able to come in. make the play from the inside out. But another first down for the Spartans as the clock runs.
Brandon Tullis, the lone back for the Spartans. It's McCray in motion. Pressure coming on Childs. He escapes it, off-balance throw. Did a nice job just getting rid of it. Dame Tucker again providing the pressure for the Broncos.
You know, I'm not sure if he would have made that throw last year. Last year, Aiden Childs might have tried to run that ball and fumbled it, or he might have thrown a pick. This time, he sees he's in trouble right away. Dame Tucker's right on him. What does he do? Throws the ball away. Gets the ball out of bounds to live to fight another day. That's the maturity that they're looking for, that Jonathan Smith needs as this quarterback continues to grow. And he looks really special tonight.
Frazier on 2nd and 10. Makes one man miss, taken down at the 35 by James Camden. You talk about that growth. You know, they said, we think he's gotten better. He's making his way through progressions as we take a look at the replay here with Frazier.
A good push again by Frazier, and that cutback on the left side has been there as well as the right side. But like you're saying, that growth in Childs, they just didn't know what it would be like when the game was live, if the decisions would go back to what they were.
And they certainly have. And under live fire, he has been outstanding tonight. 10 of 12, 88 yards, a touchdown pass. And you talked about that last decision. I thought you hit the nail on the head. 3rd and 2. Here's Childs, and this is what he does so well. On his own, inside the 10, knocked out of bounds at the 3. Camden again with the touchdown-saving tackle. A 32-yard gain, and a Childs shall lead them. This is what makes him so special. Back in East Lansing after this. Welcome back to East Lansing. We talked about the development and the maturity of Aiden Childs in his 2nd full season as a starter, and this was a perfect example of that, Petro.
The heavy pressure, it's a muddy pocket. He uses his athletic ability and just throws it away. And then they call a quarterback run just to show that this guy has this element to his game. He is big, he is strong, and he is fast. And you can see on the sideline, everybody feeling good about what they're seeing from Aiden Childs in year 2 at Michigan State. Stepped out of bounds a little bit earlier on that run. Still 1st and goal, but a little further back.
26-yard gain ties the longest run of his career. Here's Frazier with some room, stretching into the end zone. Ball's on the ground. Did it cross the goal line first? Indeed it did. Touchdown, Spartans. A 9-yard touchdown run for Frazier.
Kai Frazier going to that right side. Nice block, washing people down by Ramil, the left tackle, and you can see clearly that the ball is over the line, hits the ground and pops out as he puts it over his head like the Statue of Liberty. Nice drive by Michigan State after the great special teams play, back in Western Michigan up, getting good field position and then rolling forward, playing great complementary football are the Spartans in the first half.
True freshman snapper is Jack Wills. The hold is down, and Blake Sislow with another extra point, playing in his first college football game. His last kick came in high school back in 2020. He's been pretty good tonight. FS1 College Football is sponsored by the Starbucks Coffee Company. Everybody happy here at Spartan Stadium because the Spartans are rolling right now, up 21-0.
And it's not just that they're rolling, it's the way that they're rolling.
That's a good
right,
point.
Dan? I mean, it's the offensive line getting to push, the quarterback looking much more mature, and the receiving core bolstered, not just Nick Marsh. Omari Kelly has really been the star on the perimeter thus far. All of their scoring drives have been balanced and just a really good-looking effort early against a team that they do expect to beat, but you never know. And this looks a lot different than last year's opener against FAU.
So many question marks on this team surrounding the receiving corps, surrounding the offensive line. They attacked it in the portal. Got over 20 portal transfers to come in, and they have all certainly added to this team right now. 21-0 right now, Michigan State on top, and a whole lot of Big Ten storylines to get into. Third-ranked Ohio State, the defending national champs, looking to repeat, and boy, are they stacked once again. How about Penn State, ranked second in the country? Can the Nittany Lions finally win the big one? Oregon 7th, Illinois 12th, Michigan 14th. Among the other contenders for a national title. It is going to be a fun season in the Big Ten this year, P.
Always is, and look out for these Spartans with this talent that we've seen offensively.
Flush out of the pocket, trouble. Western Michigan just can't get it going offensively here.
They try to get the ball to Devin Miles on like a bubble route or a swing route to the back. That's a little far in front of a back to make that catch from Brady Jones. You don't want that back to have to stretch his arms out and make that play. You got to have it right on the numbers because, again, that guy is not a wide receiver.
Again, we were expecting to see two quarterbacks here tonight, Brock Lowry and Brady Jones. Brady Jones has taken 100% of the offensive snaps. 2nd and 10 here. Quick pass is complete. Williams about 5 yards shy of the first down. Jordan Hall on the tackle for the Spartans.
The transfer from Georgia State, Talik Williams, was very active on their first drive. They really need to convert here in 3rd and medium just to keep the ball and run the clock. They do not want to see Aiden Childs again and that Michigan State offense until the 3rd quarter.
1 for 5 on 3rd down conversions tonight for the Broncos. Empty set for Jones on 3rd and 4. And again, the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. This Michigan State defensive line doing a nice job wreaking havoc.
Looked like Grady Kelly, the transfer out of Florida State, got his hand up and batted that one down. Not a bad call. The quick pass to try to get out of trouble and get a first down. Let's see, who was that? Yeah, Grady Kelly with the swipe.
Jones started 4 of 5 since then. He's 2 for 6. Kelly back. And he's going to return this one. Has a little bit of room around the right side. Keeps his feet out past the 40-yard line. What can he do? "47-yard punt, 20-yard return." Big noon kickoff coming to you from the biggest game of the weekend. It's Texas and Ohio State. Everybody waiting for this one. Man, that's going to be fun, Pete.
I'm freaking out about the pregame show.
I know, right?
I mean, the game itself is going to be wild. Look at this. First time Texas has ever been ranked #1.
Isn't that hard to believe?
For me, it is. I mean, Ricky Williams and all those guys over the years.
Taking on the defending national champs, the 20th game in college football history with the AP #1 and the defending national champion.
Oh, what a
set
scene.
to open up the season. And big noon kickoff will be there.
What do the Spartans do here, Dan? Do they go for the jugular or do they try to just get a little push?
It looks like they're going to throw it. Pressure coming on Childs. Ball's out. And jumping on the ball is Connor Moore.
Well, that is not what you want if you are Michigan State. Aiden Childs getting jumped on again by Dame Tucker, the transfer from Houston, who's been all over the place. Number 11, watch him coming on the edge, and he is having his way with Stanton Ramiel getting right by him and right to the chest, around the chest of Childs, and raking that ball out. That could have been a huge moment for Western had they been able to recover. Still big just to create the negative play, and a little frustration from Aiden Childs. Not protected on that left side. Ramil getting beat a couple of times by Dame Tucker.
Maybe had a flashback to last year. He was the second most sacked quarterback in the Big Ten.
Well, that was Connor Moore, my bad.
They
Connor
flipped.
Moore, yeah, they flipped the tackles. And Connor Moore that time, who's been having such a great game when he was on the right side, moves to the left side because Ramil was beaten a couple times, and now Connor Moore gets beat.
So they have 8 or 9 guys on the offensive line that they say are starting caliber players. So they want to try a lot of different combinations. And there's Dame Tucker. What a game he's had. A couple of sacks, a couple of TFLs. Second and 27 after the sack. Pressure coming again off the edge, and there is just nothing going for Frazier. Camden coming in from his linebacker spot. He's the first man there for the Broncos.
Well, that time they're throwing away from Tucker. And once again, it's Connor Moore, and he's just getting around him. Nothing there for Frazier, and now you're just trying to survive the end of the quarter for Michigan State with a 3rd and forever.
New defensive coordinator Chris O'Leary drawn up the pressure. First time calling plays. He was a safeties coach with the LA Chargers last year. Prior to that, he was on the Notre Dame staff coaching safeties. Asked him if he was nervous to call plays for the first time. He said, I can't wait. I just can't wait to get out there and get it going.
He said he didn't know what it was going to be like until he started doing it. And he's had some guys stepping up and making plays. Yeah, they're physically outmatched and they're getting pushed off the ball, but they've been able to create some negative plays. And whether it's Ramil or Moore, Dame Tucker has been hanging out in the backfield for Michigan State a lot more than they're comfortable.
3rd and 32. One would expect Michigan State to be conservative here with 35 seconds left in the first half. And that's exactly what they are, keeping it on the ground. Hard running by Tullis, as he has all game. Kershawn Fisher, the other defensive end, opposite Dame Tucker on the tackle after a gain of 12. So 27 seconds to go. Final timeout by Western Michigan. They want to have a little time left on the clock when they get the ball, and they have struggled offensively to get into a groove since that first drive.
Yeah, they just have not been able to get what they want to do done, which is get Jalen Buckley the ball and get some more workable situations for their first-year quarterback, Brady Jones. But he's been in a lot of 3rd and long situations because, quite simply, they're just not able to get their best player, Jalen Buckley, going the way they want him to with that forward lean. Michigan State is doing that with Frazier and Tullis, and we've even seen Elijah Tautoliver in the game as well at running back, and they wanted to get all 3 going.
Talik Williams back deep for the Broncos. Kick pushes him back inside the 15-yard line. That could have been interesting. So a lot of work to do in 20 seconds for Western Michigan. Kind of bobbled that for a minute, dropped it, and then lucky that the sideline was there.
We're talking about those offensive struggles. Western only 11 rushing yards on 10 attempts, and they're a running team. And 1 of 6 on 3rd down because of all the down and distance on 3rd down, and 0 for 1 on 4th down. That's got to get better.
Jones looking to the left side, safe conservative pass to Buckley, who gets out of bounds. Last man to hit him was Eden. Michigan State's going to receive the ball in the second half too, so the Broncos would love a miracle here in 15 seconds.
Tall order.
On the board. Yeah, I'd say so. Oh, it's picked off. Wayne Matthews, the linebacker, giving Michigan State the opportunity to put more points on the board with 10 seconds to go here.
What a nightmare for Western Michigan, calling that timeout to force the punt. Michigan State picking up all the dogs and crossing on the defensive front that they were doing. Western Michigan doing a pretty good job blocking for him, but I'm just not sure what he saw getting that ball out. Matthews makes the play. Not sure how that ball came out, if somebody had a hand on it or something.
I think it might have been tip, Petro.
Yeah.
There have been a couple of tip balls tonight. Good penetration by the Michigan State defense.
Yeah, looks like it right there. And that tip is what creates the situation for Matthews, the long and rangy linebacker, to make the pick. And now the Spartans with 10 seconds to work with. And getting the ball, as you just mentioned, after the half.
Joe Rossi likes long, he likes twitchy. That's what they were going after in the portal. And Wayne Matthews from Old Dominion in his second year here,
well,
certainly qualifies.
No doubt. And we've seen the downfield ability already of Aiden Childs. We've seen what Omari Kelly can do. Obviously, we know what Nick Marsh can do. We've seen some tight ends involved in this game, and Velling and Masunis. But do you really want to drop Aiden Childs back 7 steps to take a shot with the way that Dame Tucker has been rushing and getting into the backfield? The last thing you need is another disaster like the last drive if you're Michigan State. But you might want to set up your young kicker to get a kick and see what he's like in that situation beyond just the PAT.
Well, remember, it might not be Sislo. It could be the punter, Eckley.
Depending on how far.
Exactly. Childs looking to the left side. Dumps it off to Kelly. And Kelly almost back to the line of scrimmage. So before the game, Blake Sislo made it from about 42, and from what we understand, that 42, 43-yard range is about his cutoff. Anything further than that, they're going to go with Ryan Eckley.
He looked pretty solid throughout, has Sislo, but you're right, it's Eckley who's out there to make the longer kick.
Eckley led the Big Ten in punting yardage last year, averaging about 48 yards per, so he has a big leg. But it's not high school anymore. You don't have a lot of kickers and punters that are doing the same job, so
this one, if everybody gets hurt.
46 yards out. Well, it's a good thing he's
right,
the kickoff guy and the long field goal specialist. Let's see what Eckley can do here. From 46 yards out, a line drive, no good for Michigan State. And you can see the smile on his face. Man, he wanted that one. Not going to get too many shots at that this year. 21-0, Michigan State on top of Western Michigan. It's Mike Hill, Bruce Feldman, and Chris Peterson in Los Angeles in the studio with the halftime show. We'll send it to them. We'll see you here for the second half.
All right, what the hell? Thank you, Dan. Back in our LA studios, the aforementioned Chris Peterson, Bruce Feldman, Mike Hill hanging out with you. Michigan State scored 21 points in 4 games last season, total. So their offense had room to improve. Let's just say they did that in the first half against Western Michigan. 21 points, Aiden Childs leading the way. They scored in 3 of their first 4 possessions of the game.
Yeah, a lot of good out of this Michigan State team in general. I think there's a lot of positive things to build on, starting with this run game. And I think Jim Mihalacek, the offensive line coach, is one of the best line coaches in college football. He's an expert in this wide zone scheme, and you could just see the O-line coming off and knocking Western Michigan back. When they do that, Aiden Childs can then be really effective. 9 for 11, 80 yards, a touchdown. Some things to clean up, a little bit of the pass protection. And one of the big things is you know, scrambling quarterbacks can be tricky to coach because they can get out of a lot of things, but they also can create problems for themselves. And you saw that with Aiden at the end trying to get out of there, fumbles the ball. Michigan State kind of avoided catastrophe there, but that's just going to be a learning, teachable moment. I think if you're Jonathan Smith, you're feeling really good. You got a 21-point lead, so you can breathe a little bit and cut it loose and play even harder, but there's still things to build on.
I think if you're Jonathan Smith, you're also excited about how your defense is looking now. Remember, before he got the job, Michigan State was terrible on defense. They were almost at the bottom 2 in the conference for the previous couple of years. Joe Rossi, he hires him as a defense coordinator from Minnesota. Really good defensive coordinator. They got better last year. They were okay. And they have completely shut down Western Michigan. Now, I know it's not Ohio State or Oregon, but Jalen Buckley from Western Michigan, one of the best running backs in the MAC. And they've got nothing. They didn't have a first down even in the second quarter. We saw them get a turnover. We saw them apply a lot of pressure. I feel like this is at least a positive step for the Spartans.
5 carries, 8 yards total for Buckley, 89 yards total for Western Michigan. Second half coming up for Sparty right here on FS1. Meanwhile, with Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders out of the picture, how will Coach Prime and the new look Buffs do against Georgia Tech? We got highlights coming up. And one of the games of the year tomorrow, of course, what can Arch Manning and top-ranked Texas expect for number 3 Ohio State? We'll have a preview from Columbus. That's also coming up next. Well, you may have heard one of the biggest games of the year taking place tomorrow in Columbus, where the big new kickoff crew will be for top-ranked Texas against number 3 and defending champions Ohio State. Our Tom Rinaldi sat down with Longhorns head man Steve Sarkisian.
Arch Manning. The hype on this guy's second to none. Everyone's got a take on Arch Manning.
All of the tools for him to become an elite quarterback are there.
I don't think another quarterback has had this much hype at the University of Texas.
How do you coach a player with the scrutiny and expectation that Arch Manning carries into his first season as the full-time starter?
You know, part of it, I would say, unfair. I would say that.
Why?
You know, because how do we know? You know, the guy's had, 2 career starts. But I think for Arch, the beauty of it is I don't think this is new to him. He's had that last name his whole life.
Arch makes a tackle to the goal line. Arch Manning.
We don't put him on a pedestal around here. You know, we coach him hard. He's got a little more swag than his uncles had, right? He has some fun playing the game, and I think that's when he's at his best.
Let's go. We're here.
Who's under greater pressure, the head coach or the quarterback at Texas?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I think that we know what we signed up for. You take this job at the University of Texas with an expectation that you're going there to compete for championships, year in and year out. I think when you decide to come play quarterback at the University of Texas, there's an expectation that you're going to be the one that's going to help lead that team to compete for championships. And so I think to some degree, they go hand in hand.
Another one, touchdown, Jeremiah Smith.
The legend grows. What's the blessing and what's the burden of this matchup out of the gate?
This is college football. Like, what else do you want? Here's week 1. Here's the defending national champion at home, kicking the season off against the team they had to beat in the semifinals, who now, oh, by the way, is the preseason #1 ranked team in the country. I think we know this. Ohio State's going to be a really well-coached football team. Very talented roster. They're smart, they're physical, they're fast. We're both very healthy programs, both very talented programs that try to do things the right way.
Fellas, as Sark said there, you got defending champions against the #1 ranked preseason team on the road. That's an underdog, by the way, for the first time ever in college football history. #1 team in the preseason, #1 underdog. You got star power, but you can't forget about the defenses of both these teams as well, Coach.
Yeah, and everybody wants to talk about these quarterbacks, and both head coaches are going to be thinking one thing for their quarterbacks: how do I just get these guys and build confidence? Because it is going to come down to these defenses. I think any championship outfit is always going to have an elite defense, and I think at the end of the year, both these guys are going to be right there. I really hone in on Texas's defense. One, I think it starts with coaching. Pete Kwiatkowski, who I had the great fortune to be with at Boise State and Washington, he is truly one of the best defensive minds in the game. So it starts there. And then they're low. They got 7 returning starters. They got All-Americans at all levels of their defense. It starts with their edge rusher, Colin Simmons, 5-star recruit, All-American. Then it goes to the linebacker, Anthony Hill Jr., 5-star, All-American. Goes into their secondary, walk-on, safety, Michael Taft, All-American.
Yeah.
So Pete Kukowski, great coach, got these tremendously talented players. And let's not forget, both these schools recruit the best of the best in terms of the young talent that we're going to see tomorrow.
I'm fascinated on the other side, right? So you have Matt Patricia comes back from the NFL, never really coached in college football. He's got big shoes to fill. Jim Knowles did an amazing job there. Now, obviously, he has Caleb Downs. That is a great player. I would argue the best defense player in college football. But the last time an NFL guy got an awakening into college football world, Steve Sarkisian gave it to Wink Martindale from Michigan, at Michigan, right? I mean, Steve Sarkisian just, turned him inside and out. Now, he did have an experienced quarterback in Quinn Ewers. Arch doesn't have that much experience. But there's a lot of firepower there at Texas. This is a big spot, I think, for Matt Patricia. We're gonna feel how ready he is to be in the hot water of Columbus, Ohio.
I think offense and defense coordinator.
I think one thing we can't forget either, you always in college football love these home teams. But Coach Sark and those Texas Longhorns have won 11 straight road games. So they're not scared walking into this arena tomorrow. It's going to be awesome.
This is the first road start for Arch Manning, though. Of course, this ain't Louisiana on the road. This ain't Mississippi State. This is defending champion Buckeyes. It should be a good one tomorrow. Big noon kickoff starting things off for us. Hey, Auburn had a big infusion of talent from the transfer portal, while Baylor returns 9 of 11 starters from a potent offense from last year. Highlights of that game, it's over on Fox from Waco coming up next. And Anelu Lafella playing some good defense. Look at the fella. LaFella playing some good defense right there for Michigan State. Michigan State playing an all-around good first half. They're up 21-0. Hey, tomorrow on Fox after Texas, Ohio State's 22nd ranked Iowa State takes on South Dakota at 3:30 Eastern. Then at 11 p.m., it's Nico Iamaleava makes his UCLA debut against Utah. That game is at the Rose Bowl. It's the coach, it's Bruce, it's Mike Hill back with you with Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders off to the NFL. Will Colorado take a step back this year under Coach Prime? He's back, of course, squad hosting Georgia Tech tonight in their opener. Colorado may have a better team without those two teams, of course, losing those superstars. But their defense got him better, but Georgia Tech actually gifting them some scores here tonight.
This is the one thing, if you're a coach, that you do not want to happen. Let's just not beat ourselves. If they beat us, okay, but let's not beat ourselves.
1 of 3 Georgia Tech turnovers in the first half. Caden Salter, the man replacing Shedeur Sanders here scrambling around. The Liberty transfer. Found the Kalen Taylor right there for the score, 7-0. Georgia Tech is threatening right now in the second quarter. Auburn and Baylor, this game over on Fox. Jackson Arnold, the Oklahoma transfer. He can do these things.
Throwing some wheels there. Coach, did you see that when you watched Middle Elite 11?
Yes, that's another reason we liked him so much.
Baylor in the red zone twice, but only 3 points out of this one. Then Auburn on top 7-3. That game's over on Fox. Western Illinois. Coach, you like this Illinois team? You said
I do. I like that play right there, Mike. You see how relaxed Altmaier was? Like his first read wasn't there. He just calm and finds the next game.
You said this team was going to make the playoffs this year.
Good chance.
The newcomers there, Altmaier right there. They got 16 returning starters. Double-digit wins last season. Aiden Lawfrey right here taking the handoff. And Illinois looking good. Up 24-0.
Flip for the Western Illinois 11 on defense.
We saw Kansas beat Fresno State last week. They got Wagner today, and Jalen Daniels had a good game last week. Getting off to a good start here. Emmanuel Henderson Jr. right there, 9-yard touchdown. Kansas up 14-0, and then Daniels. Keep him healthy. Kansas may be able to do some things.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Mike. That guy stays healthy, that quarterback, they're going to be somebody to reckon with.
Rolling right now, 29-0 over Wagner. Nick Marsh getting a touchdown grab right here from Aiden Childs, all Michigan State in the first half.
Well, it hasn't been perfect, Petros, but it's been pretty darn close for Michigan State. I mean, maybe the only thing performing better than the offense for Michigan State is the wonder dog.
Zeke.
Zeke's been doing well. He's been doing a good job. But offensively, they didn't know exactly what they had. They had a remade offensive line. They had a remade receiver room. And everything has been clicking on all cylinders for the Spartans, up 21-0 here at home in the opener. Mekhi Frazier and Amari Kelly have been absolutely dominant here in the first half.
Well, we know about Childs and Marsh, but they need help. They need other guys to get it going. And Amari Kelly out on the perimeter, so reliable, right there for Aiden Childs, and he was accurate to a T, and they need a run game. They need that offensive line fixed. They're flipping the tackles, they're moving around, and Mekhi Frazier has put it in the right place, showing some good moves at the line of scrimmage, getting up the field and putting his foot in the ground like he should, like there. He wants to hang on to that ball, but it's a touchdown, and the Michigan State Spartans, if you look what they've done rushing the ball, and you look at the last almost 50 games, you can tell that there's a change in East Lansing at the line of scrimmage for Jonathan Smith's guy.
And it's been a long time since they've had a dominant run game and a dominant running back. And it does appear that the running game as a whole, at least for now, is back. The offensive line performing well, the quarterback performing well, as are the receivers. Let's check out our first half stats by the numbers, sponsored by Starbucks Coffee Company. And we can't tell you that they look pretty good for Michigan State. They have more than doubled up the Broncos offensively. We talked about the rushing yards, which is their best first half output in 4 or 5 years, and then just dominated time of possession over 19 minutes in the first half for the Spartans.
They've looked good. Now remember, in the second quarter, they were having a lot of trouble blocking Dane Tucker on the edge, and he was coming through and getting hands on Aiden Childs. That's something they're going to have to fix with the fullback back in the game.
And the fullback Coyne moves out of the I formation, and nothing going for Tolis. There are a couple of Broncos there, including Javara Sims.
Yeah, Sims came from the secondary, flying in there as an extra guy, and made the play, causing a negative play. Not a lot of those, but not a great start for Michigan State, trying to get a little bit of push with the fullback in the game. Now they're back in a shotgun.
Childs going to throw on 2nd and 11. Off the mark. One of the few times he's looked for Omari Kelly tonight and hasn't connected.
Now this is a test for Michigan State. They have dominated the first half. They've come out on the first couple plays. They've looked a little flat. There's Dame Tucker again, that time taking an inside route on Ramil and getting almost home before that ball was released.
Bringing an extra blitzer are the Broncos. Childs flushed out to his right, looking for his man who's open. Over the head of Krishan McCray.
And that was the right play by Childs to try to stretch that, and McCray just didn't see the vertical throw at the same time as Childs did. Now Childs is creating, looks to the outside. McCray is headed straight for the sideline, so he's got to go up the field vertically. He never makes that adjustment, ends up an incomplete pass. Nice opening series for Western Michigan, forcing a punt. And Michigan State does not want to come out flat here in the second half and erase a lot of that positivity.
This is Kevin Boone Nelson to receive for the Broncos. Calls for the fair catch late at the 30-yard line. And let's see who they roll out here at quarterback for Western Michigan. Brady Jones played the entire first half. Brock Lowry has been waiting in the wings. Lowry played in 11 games last year, primarily as a running quarterback, only passed 8 times. Ran the ball 24 times.
And they're going to go with Lowry.
And here comes the redshirt sophomore from Canfield High School.
Tough running guy, looks really put together. We went down and saw him before the game. They're trying to get him to develop as a passer.
And Michigan State calls the timeout. Perhaps they were expecting Brady Jones to be in at quarterback. And, you know, Western Michigan told us, listen, we can run the same offense with either quarterback in there, but they are very different quarterbacks. Tomorrow on Baseball Night in America, the Tigers continue their fight for the AL Central against the Royals, or you might see the Mariners take on the Guardians, or Orioles Giants. Check your local listings for the game in your area tomorrow, 7 Eastern on Fox.
Well, you know, on the first drive for Western Michigan where they did have success, Brady Jones was the quarterback, but they ran a couple of quarterback-designed runs with Brady Jones, not to minimal success, a little bit of success. And Brock Lowry, obviously much more adroit at doing that. They have the big back, Jalen Buckley, that we've been talking about all night that they haven't been able to get going. Maybe they try to get an extra hat in that run game, get this quarterback going, and be aggressive here in the second half and try to get a push on the Spartans front.
Lowry rolling out to his right and just throws it away as there was good coverage there by Michigan State.
They saw everything developing as it happened. Blake Bosma is who they wanted to get out in the flat, and just too much of a forward rush coming from the Spartans at the snap, and Bosma was not available. Good job there by Lowry just to get rid of it.
Lowry looking to throw again, this time deep over the middle. And it's caught! What a tremendous catch! Balin Brooks, the San Diego State transfer, hauls it in, and a beautiful ball from Lowry.
Balin Brooks is over there on the slot on the right side and comes all the way across the field, making a nice catch in front of Amarian Smith. What a throw by a guy we did not expect to come out here and stretch the field. Crowd is quiet here at the beginning of the second half as Western Michigan has come out, made a stop, and now they're threatening in forward territory with the new quarterback.
42-yard gain, biggest play of the game for the Broncos. Lowry buying time, and pressure coming from Michigan State. That was Jalen Thompson who had him wrapped up around the ankles.
Nice job by Jalen Thompson out of Detroit, the junior. Getting a little bit of disruption back there. You'll see him coming on the edge and then flushing Lowry up in the pocket, forcing the errant throw. And maybe that's a deep breath moment for the Spartans as Western has come out firing.
And the Michigan State defense answers the call here. Ade Willie among those on the stop.
Ade Willie, the nickel, coming up and making a nice tackle on the big back, Jalen Buckley. And there's just, he's had not 2 steps of momentum to get that big body going. You see the blitz there from Jordan Hall, who is their best defender, and he's the one that really blows up the hole.
That's a great point about Buckley. He's a big kid, 225 pounds, and
just no momentum.
Just can't get going. 3rd and 12. Lowry fakes the pitch, keeps it himself. David Santiago, the Air Force transfer, wraps him up, and that brings up 4th down.
And Santiago grounds him there, and they tried to run a little bit of a speed option, get Lowry's legs going. But there's just nothing there as you see Santiago on the edge, plays it perfectly. If he makes the pitch, he's going to run out there and have a shot at that play. And the fact that he just kind of stopped his feet made it a perfect moment for him to get in there. 4th and long, and Western's got to go. Michigan State has bowed their neck here at the end of this drive.
Pressure coming after Lowry again. Has to get rid of it complete. Has to fight for the 1st down, and it looks like it's going to be short. That was Williams again. Tremendous effort,
wow.
But I don't think he got it.
What a great throw by Lowry to recognize the blitz as Malik Spencer is flying up at him. He recognizes, finds the one-on-one matchup with Talik Williams, who makes the catch but cannot get away. Great, sure tackling from the Michigan State secondary to not allow that first down.
Yeah, and that was David Santiago hustling down from his edge spot to help on the tackle as well. Impressive work by the Michigan State defense. FS1 College Football is sponsored by the Starbucks Coffee Company. Beautiful look at the Capitol building in Lansing. Michigan State up 21-0 on Western Michigan. Look at the numbers here for some of the offensive stars tonight. Aiden Childs has been fantastic. Mekhi Frazier, the best game of his career. And Amari Kelly, the MTSU transfer, is doing exactly what they expected because they knew this kid was special. Here's Frazier, a little jump cut, finding some room, picking up the first down and then some.
That's a great cutback, and that takes a lot of courage to do that as a back where all the flow is coming one side, and then you just step back really quickly. Let's take a look at this. Right there, he sees it, and Dame Tucker is a little slow to it. That's just a beautiful zone cutback from a running back who's getting more and more confident the more and more carries he gets. And he did not have many carries last year at all, did Frazier.
No, he did not. Last year, 7 carries, 21 yards, already 13 for 92 here tonight. Good blitz pickup by Frazier. Childs going to tuck it and run himself. And that's another first down for the Spartans. The 1-2 punch of Childs and Frazier on the ground looking pretty good.
That's a great point by you, Dan, because blitz pickup is one thing for a running back, but to have to make the fake and then blitz pickup, so he makes the fake and then runs right into the face of Dame Tucker, who beats his man again on the outside. I think that was Ramil. No, it was not. That's Lepo he beat on the outside. And they're having trouble blocking Dame Tucker. And Childs does a great job creating with his legs and getting the first down, but a nice pickup by Frazier.
Dame Tucker going to be a problem in the back this year. Tolis does a nice job keeping his feet after initial contact. Not a whole lot of room to go there. Here's Tucker.
Tucker, you see him there with the bull rush. I mean, it's everybody. That one was on Ramil. Getting good pressure that time. Here he comes on the other side against the excellent transfer, Connor Moore, which we talked about, forcing a fumble. This guy's had a career night against a beautifully rebuilt offensive line, out of the game right now on 2nd and 7.
Quick pitch to Frazier. Frazier has some room. Not going to get to the line to gain. Micah Davis makes sure of that.
I like the way that he bravely, though, just attacks that crease and just gave up his body, jumped through the crease to get an extra 2 or 3 yards. That forward lean and that forward push means a lot, and they're going fast.
Yeah, flags are flying, though. 3rd and 2 could turn into 3rd and 7.
Full start. Offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty.
They got Jack Velling for jumping early. Yeah, could have been a few of them you see there on the right side. Just moving before the snap. Frustration from Frazier and Childs because they felt like they had the right play called. Now a 3rd and 7 situation, and Michigan State does not look as sharp as they did in the first half offensively.
All running plays on this drive so far. Not likely to be the situation here on 3rd and long. Unless Childs calls his own number, which he does. Excellent tackle as he's wrapped up by Noah Bishop.
Bishop able to get to the feet of Childs. That was a called quarterback draw. Was he patient enough? Yeah, I think he was. Just a good job getting off the block and recognizing what they were doing and forcing another 4th down situation. And Michigan State, with the self-inflicted wound of the false start, forcing a punt, and this is a teachable moment for them as the game goes on.
Kevin Boone Nelson once again back to receive the Eckley kick. And another nice job by Eckley. It's down to the 1 yard line. For the second time this game, it's been inside the 2. And the Spartans getting it done once again, courtesy of Avion Gross. Back in East Lansing, still 21-0 Michigan State on top of Western Michigan. You know what time it is, Petros? It's time for Petros to predict the future, and this is what we have.
Well, I am always a little bit of an oracle in the ways of the ancient Delphians. I like to see early Heisman buzz for Arch Manning. I think he's going to be everything they say that he is as far as a young man and being able to lead Coach Sarkisian's team. I think Miami makes a statement early and beats Notre Dame. Not quite convicts versus Catholics, but we're going to have some fun there. And I do think finally there'll be big smiles in Happy Valley, happy times in Happy Valley as they finally overcome some of their demons in the Big Ten and get over that last hump.
A lot of happy people in Happy Valley hearing you say that tonight, that's for sure. Brock Lowry back in at quarterback. Back against the wall here. Keeping it on the ground and nowhere to go for the Broncos. Spartan D coming up huge. Jalen Thompson leading the way.
Well, the last time that they had Western backed up in the first half, it led to a Michigan State touchdown. This time it leads to a safety, and that is very hard to do. You got a big back, you're into the line of scrimmage, you're a running football team, but you can't get 1 yard to get beyond the line of scrimmage because of how stout this Spartan defense under Coach Rossi has been. Very impressive. And really one of the first real positive things we've seen from Michigan State, other than the great special teams play to back them up in this second half. They haven't been as sharp. Now they get the ball back.
The defense putting 2 points on the board with the safety, 23-0 Michigan State on top.
That's about the safest call you can make if you're Walt Bell, Lance Taylor's offensive coordinator. We got a 225-pound back who's got a great forward lean, and they can't get out of the end zone. Jonathan Smith is going to love that from his defense on tape tomorrow.
First safety for Michigan State since their season opener last season against Florida Atlantic. And the free kick now for Western Michigan. Fielded at the 20-yard line. Out past the 40. And the tackle is made. Take another look at this safety here.
Yeah, they were close in the first half. This was Brady Jones, and it was almost a safety, but he makes the athletic play of the year, laying on bodies and throwing an incomplete pass. This time in the second half, they get the ball to Buckley with Lowry at quarterback, and just too much penetration from the Spartans to even get out of the end zone. Now Michigan State with an opportunity to run some clock and get the push that they've enjoyed in the first half here in the second half with that offensive line.
Frazier picks up about 4.
See that little cut he made at the line of scrimmage, just a very subtle cut, but he didn't stop his feet. He made that cut as he was going forward, and it doesn't look like much, but you're halfway there almost with 4 yards just because of that little subtle move. See that? Boom, and then right back up the field. Really nice piece of running from an inexperienced back, but having a great night, Mekhi Frazier.
And now over 100 yards is Frazier. First career 100-yard game. Keep it on the ground again, and not a lot there for Rodney Bullard.
Yeah, they try to get a little end around action going. Tate Halleck, too disciplined. The big, good-looking safety Great-looking Mac safety who started his career at Michigan State. We talked about Tate Halleck out of Grand Rapids.
His dad, Ty, was a fullback at Michigan State, played in the NFL. His sister, second-team All-Big Ten player on the Spartans women's basketball team, so his Michigan State ties run deep, but he has enjoyed his time at Western Michigan and certainly playing well here tonight. Childs with a clean pocket, lets it go, and just a little too far out of bounds for Evan Boyd.
Evan Boyd's a good-looking player down there on the field, looking really big, 6'3", 203 pounds, and could have made that catch, probably just a little too far out that time for Childs, who has not been as sharp throwing the ball in the second half. They've run the ball a whole bunch, 47 plays, 31 rushes for Michigan State thus far, really trying to establish themselves on the ground. But the Broncos have forced another punt after the safety.
Boone Nelson back deep. And he is driven all the way back into the end zone, bobbles it, picks it up, gets out to the 12-yard line. And then he is forced out of bounds by Darius Snow. Back after this. Tonight marks the 11th time in the last 15 years the Spartans have opened the season with a Friday night game. I love the tradition. And by the way, the fans showed out tonight.
Yeah, they did. This is, like you said, you mentioned we were here at the end of last year around Thanksgiving, no students around, rough season against Rutgers, snow on the ground. I used to eat hot dogs like that.
Used to eat hot dogs like that?
I got great teeth. But tonight, this place is bustling. The student section.
Finally, a little running room for the Broncos. That's Jalen Buckley with his best run of the game.
That's got to feel good for him. A little late, but good to get those legs going. Not a completely astronomical score that they have to overcome, but they need to get going offensively, and that guy needs to get going for this offense, or they don't have the weapons they think.
It's like a design quarterback draw. Brock Lowry tackled by Alex Van Sumeren. Brings up second down. We talked about Buckley. He had such high praise from head coach Lance Taylor and just hasn't been able to find a groove. Before that last carry, which went for 12 yards, he had 7 carries for 5 yards in the game.
And it's not like he's doing anything wrong. There's just no running room. He's a big back that needs momentum, and they're just not getting any.
Oh, a little reverse to Leary. And how about that pursuit like a heat-seeking missile was Samaj Bridgman.
Bridgman really cleaned that play up, a guy who started his career at Michigan and did the unthinkable and came over to East Lansing, originally out of Philly. This was slow developing, but it looked like they were going to make some hay there. But you see Bridgman come off his block, get ahead of Bosma, and like you said, like a missile, attacks the hip and makes the play. Another 3rd and long for Western.
Jalen Buckley split out wide. Huge 3rd down play for Western Michigan. Lowry decides to keep it himself, has enough for the first down and more. As he's out near midfield. Takes a shot from Malik Spencer, but that's what he brings to the table.
Yeah, that guy's a little bit different when he runs the football, stepping through some adversity in the contact zone. Look at him, and look at him get those legs up. Great ball security and acrobatics.
Lowry looking up the right side. Wow. That catch was made, and that was a ridiculous adjustment by Balin Brooks.
I've known about Balin Brooks since his San Diego State days. Young man out of Pasadena, and he can roll. And they're proving it now. That's his second big catch.
Boy, bad snap on the ground. Lowry picks it up, just has to get rid of a heads-up play by the quarterback. Let's take another look at that catch.
Well, great job by Lowry running the ball like a champion and then coming back, dropping back and making that throw. As you see, Malcolm Bell probably could have been called for interference there. Balin Brooks fights through the physicality and ends up making the catch. And here's Western Michigan threatening again. But as the field has gotten smaller, they have had some problems, and that negative play, not great.
Oh, another high snap. And here comes the pressure. They got him. Jordan Hall with the sack. And that was all set up by the high snap to Lowry.
Jordan Hall is the man out of IMG Academy, originally out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. Really well-timed blitz, and not the first one he's had tonight. Again, an errant snap that takes the eyes of Lowry away from his progression, and he's not able to see Hall bearing down on him. Michigan State with a nice recovery after giving up 2 chunk plays in the long run and the long throw.
First sack for Hall since his freshman year. Went sackless last season. Might be the best player on this defense. 3rd and 17 for the Broncos. Lowry surveying the field, trying to buy some time. Running out of it, gets rid of it. No go.
He was being harassed, but just did not seem able to find anybody with that coverage. It's only a 4-man rush. Michigan State doing a good job covering everybody up on the outside. Lowry's got to throw it away, make a heads-up play, but now it's 4th and very long. They're going to try to kick.
It's going to be a 46-yard field goal for Hunter Smith, who is their kickoff specialist. Snaps a little high, and that one doesn't have a chance. So nothing really going the Broncos' way. Trying to get on the board. Right now it's 23-0. Sparty's having a good old time. Here's a look at the top 7 quarterbacks coming out of high school a couple of years ago. Arch Manning, #1 in the country. Nico Iamaleava, #2. And there you see Aiden Childs. Michigan State's quarterback, of course, started his career at Oregon State. What stands out to you the most about this?
Dante Moore, pedestrian at UCLA, now with a real shot. They're all transfers.
Yeah.
Except for one guy.
Except for Arch Manning. Every single one of the top 7 quarterbacks from 2023 is transferred. That's the new era of college football we are in right now.
The best laid plans.
Aiden Childs is one of them, and he's looked pretty good tonight. Childs with time, pass complete. Nick Marsh. After that touchdown, making his 4th catch of the game. Javaris Sims there on the stop.
Took a big hit there trying to stay up and fight. Sometimes you want to get down before the wave hits you.
Second and 4 coming up for Michigan State. Aiden Childs, as we mentioned, started his career with Jonathan Smith at Oregon State. And as soon as Smith was leaving, he knew he was coming with him.
They need a sustained drive, something that looks efficient like the first half.
Diving for the first down, and looks like he has it, is Nick Marsh.
You know, when I see a big receiver like that catching just balls right there, what they would call a smoke route, you just turn around and catch the ball and you're one-on-one running up against somebody. Reminds me of the old USC receiver from the early 2000s, Big Mike Williams, if you remember him, out of Plant, Florida.
He was a hoss.
Just a big, you throw it out there and the guy's just big, and it's really hard for that corner to make a tackle, and he gets physical and gets you down the field. That's 2 throws to Nick Marsh and a first down, like 2 run plays out there being physical against one guy.
Elijah Tolliver is checked in at running back. Childs looks the other way. Nice job breaking a tackle. It's Marsh. And you can see the strength and the physicality of Marsh. And defenses this year, once they get into Big Ten play, not going to be able to just focus solely on Marsh now that he has some help in the receiver room.
He goes over there on the edge, very accurate. Has Aiden Childs been so far on this drive with the short throws? That's kind of how they started the game. John Peters, an excellent freshman corner, out there battling with Big Nick Marsh, the all Big Ten star.
It's Tao Tolliver, and he's met right away in the backfield.
Tucker.
There's that man again, Dame Tucker. Look out.
They cannot block him. He's been very, very effective in the run and in the pass, just coming down from that edge, causing trouble. Big loss.
Oh, boy. Got a guy running off the field.
They got a timeout. Aiden Childs was trying to get that snap, and it didn't look like his center, Matt Goulbin, was on the same page. Childs was trying to catch him with 12 men on the field. Instead, Lance Taylor gets the timeout. Still 3rd and 7 situation. Dame Tucker might be the defensive player of this football game, despite the lopsided score.
Yeah, Dame Tucker's been outstanding. One of the few bright spots for Western Michigan here. It's been a tough road to hoe away from Kalamazoo. All Michigan State going into the 4th quarter. The student section is out. Have a hot dog. Luigi in the house at Spartan Stadium. 23-0.
Where's his mustache?
Michigan State on top. The only points in the 3rd quarter coming from a safety. And the student section is thinned out a little bit, but they are still well represented as we are set to start the 4th here. 3rd and 7 for Aiden Childs and company. Pressure coming. Childs buying some time, cuts it back up inside, and he's taken down by Saipio at the 40-yard line.
What a great blitz pickup this time by Mekhi Frazier. Look at him right there, right into the guts of Tate Halleck, springing Childs. And you look at the left side there, doubling Tucker, getting some extra work on him. And then they blitz Halleck up the middle, but a nice pickup by Frazier, but still they force the punt.
Beckley punting one more time. And into the end zone. With Michigan State still on top. Broncos looking for their first points of the game here in the 4th quarter on the road. FS1 College Football is sponsored by the Starbucks Coffee Company. Consistency is key, and nobody knows that better than Jonathan Smith.
That's what he's looking for.
Both coordinators back, by the way. One of 6 Big Ten schools to return both coordinators and the head coach. And, oh yeah, they have their quarterback back as well. Coordinator's been doing a nice job. Defensive coordinator Joe Rossi, Brian Lindgren on the offensive side of the ball for Michigan State. And now it's time for the defense as Brady Jones is back in at quarterback, taking a shot. And he is overshooting Malik Dudon. You know what they say about Jonathan Smith, too, is he's just a program builder, Petros. You know better than anybody what he did at Oregon State, and he's trying to do the same exact thing here at Michigan State.
He's been a well-respected coach for a long time and really desired coming out of Oregon State and everything that he accomplished there, rebuilding a program that was desolate, his alma mater where he played quarterback.
Flushed out of the pocket, having to keep it himself is Brady Jones.
He also had a lot of success as an offensive coordinator at Washington. A lot of people thought he might end up there and get that job, but you see what he did at Oregon State. Not just that, but raising the money to get the stadium completely rebuilt and just creating excitement just like he did when he played quarterback there under Dennis Erickson.
And rebuilding a team now is vastly different than it was 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm very impressed with how he has adjusted and how he attacked the portal this year to get 23 new players. And some of these guys you've seen already going to be big-time contributors here. As this pass is complete for Western Michigan, first down is picked up. It's Balin Brooks again, who's been the most productive receiver on the field for the Broncos, a gain of 13.
Yeah, early in the game it was Tyleek Williams, and now it's been Balin Brooks. A big hit there from Matthews, sustained by Brady Jones, who's come in and started slinging the ball.
Pressure coming again. That one was intended for Avion Chenault.
You know, the one thing I always thought Jonathan Smith would be able to do here is get receivers, get the offensive line going, get the running backs squared away. He has very good coordinators, a very respected coach that people like to coach for because he treats people well. And year one, they had a lot of cleaning up to do. Year two, it looks like they're taking good steps.
Keep it on the ground with Miles. Darius Snow on the stop for Michigan State.
And you know, every coach we talk to, Dan, talks about how it's not a game of perfect. And I mean, even in broadcasting, but there's going to be mistakes. There's no doubt about it. But one thing I think from Jonathan Smith is they really platoon in and out defensively. And they told us they were going to do that. Is they want more consistency. And I think they would have appreciated a cleaner third quarter, maybe some more sustained drives offensively, like we saw in the first half. They haven't really been able to put that together. And credit Western Michigan and Dame Tucker especially for causing trouble for their offense in the second half here.
Quick pass by Jones, stretching for the first down is Cade Connolly. And he got it.
Cade Connolly's their second tight end behind a guy they got to return in Blake Bosma. Just a red shirt out of Williamston, Michigan. Nice play as they're playing fast.
A little tempo here for Western. And still trying to get on the same page in the passing game. He's looking for Tyleek Williams, but overthrown.
Yeah, looks like a miscommunication there. Tyleek Williams stopped on the route, and Brady Jones thought he was going to keep going. You can see the plan on this drive for the Broncos and Coach Lance Taylor is to stretch the field. They've been trying to get back there and stretch it. We'll see if Michigan State pins their ears back, sends a blitz, or tries to get after him.
Jones lets it go right away. Taking another deep shot. Terrence Marshall, the intended receiver. The coverage was very good by Aiden West, the freshman corner.
True freshman on the coverage. A big dog, Jordan Hall on the blitz in the backfield. Usually it's third down that Coach Rossi likes to send those elaborate blitzes. That time it was a second down look. Here is the third and long look. Let's see if Michigan State brings the heat.
6 men on the line of scrimmage. A seventh initially comes up. And kind of a delayed blitz from Michigan State off the left side.
Like you said, they brought 7. It was Malik Spencer, the safety, kind of out there in no man's land, but there is a flag down.
Intentional grounding.
And they called grounding because he never left the pocket and there was nobody over there.
Fourth down.
Really nicely called by Coach Rossi, defensive coordinator for Michigan State. He told us he was going to use a lot of guys. We just saw a true freshman corner in there on the last play when their best player on defense, Jordan Hall, was on a blitz. So they really are mixing it up. That time, well-called blitz forces a punt by Western. Michigan State's defense has been excellent tonight.
Milmore back to punt for the Broncos. Kelly deep for Michigan State. Calls for the fair catch just inside the 20-yard line. 11:34 to go. Spartans keeping the babies awake. Things going so well. As good as tonight has been, tomorrow going to be even better. Ohio State, the defending national champs, taking on #1 ranked Texas on Big Noon Saturday. Coverage starts with Big Noon Kickoff live from Columbus at 9 Eastern. That's tomorrow on Fox.
I heard our friend Brady Quinn say that this could very well be the national championship game at the end of the college football playoff. Can you imagine that? Checking that game out in 2026?
Call that a little tease.
That's what he said. Brady Quinn, he knows stuff. He's going to be out there on the Big Noon looking all good, staring at Matt Leinart.
He's smart. He's handsome. Look at this guy. He's ready
Mr.
for him already.
Yeah, and he's got the little McConaughey look going with the fur inside the jacket.
Oh, that's a good point. I was wondering where you were going there. I'm like, he doesn't look anything at all like Matthew McConaughey.
No, the McConaughey look. No, the leathery jacket.
Yeah. I could see you in that,
McConaughey likes to wear brown and beige and a leathery suede.
Yeah, like a big belt buckle.
Yeah, to couple with his leathery skin.
Elijah Toliver in at running back for the Spartans. And flags flying.
Full start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
I believe that's their second of the game. First one got called on the tight end, Jack Velling. They're trying to roll some guys through, maybe get a little bit of experience. We've seen some different offensive line guys in this game playing different positions, flipping the tackles.
Yeah, they've been moving guys all around, as I mentioned earlier. They have 8 to 9 offensive linemen who they feel like are bona fide starters, and they're trying to find the right mix, the right combinations. They have given up 3 sacks so far tonight. Here's Toliver with a little room, uses the stiff arm, good tough running. Dylan Moore smacks him out of bounds, but Toliver, prior to that carry, had 2 for -7 yards on the ground, so he gets 3 back, still in negative territory, but they like to get him in plus territory.
Important for them to get all 3 of their backs positive feelings in this game. They've had the nice touchdown, first one of the game from Tullis, the big back. We featured Frazier and shown all the different good things that he's done, including blitz pickup and saving his quarterback. And it might be Toliver's time to get a little bit a run right now.
And he is the most experienced of the trio.
Former Sac State Hornet.
Indeed. Plenty of time for Childs, and just off the mark. We've seen him do that a couple of times. That was intended for Amari Kelly.
Childs has just not been as sharp. He could not miss, really, in the first half. This time, bouncing around a little bit, looking around. Doesn't move the pocket too much or do anything untoward, but that ball is off the mark to Kelly, and you can see he's saying, I believe, that one's on me.
My bad. 3rd and 12 now for the Spartans. Childs trying to buy some time. Again, wide open, as he has been so often tonight, is Amari Kelly.
That's the kind of creativity you want to see from Childs moving around. And they don't want to curtail that too much, right? You want this guy to be able to use his athleticism, decides to flush out of the pocket, get those legs on the move, doesn't throw it very far across his body. Sees Kelly coming open and delivers that perfectly. Very nice play to bounce back from the errant throw on the play before.
7 catches for 75 yards for Kelly. He's the leading receiver for the Spartans.
Not surprised, are you?
No. He's looked good since the moment he stepped foot on campus. And Toliver with his best run of the game. Yeah, Kelly, one of those 4 receivers they brought in through the portal. And from the moment he got here, he was just getting open. He just found a way to get open. Experienced route runner. You mentioned MTSU, started at Auburn, so he's been around for a minute.
Yeah, and you know, it's not always where you bring in a transfer and you feel like you really found a diamond in the rough, but that's the situation they found with Amari Kelly. Not to mention the fact that Jonathan Smith and Lindgren's offense is very receiver friendly. They do a good job of balancing things out. It's a great place for the young man.
Elijah Tolliver. Little forward lean, close to picking up the first down before he's tackled by Kershawn Fisher. Here's Amari Kelly, and what a day he has had in his first game here at Spartans Stadium.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff was on the perimeter. They just could not get between him and the sideline, and perfectly thrown balls on time early in the game from Aiden Childs. Really got Omari Kelly going, and then we've seen him catch the ball across the middle. We've seen him run after the catch. He's just done a lot of great things, and with Nick Marsh on the other side, that's a heck of a duo now.
Childs on the play action, has a man open, flag down there in the secondary. That's Krishawn McCray, the Kent State transfer who generally operates in the slot. Let's see what the flag is.
It's a great job by Childs staying in the pocket there and being patient. I don't know if he would have done that last year. It's a hold on Western Michigan.
That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
The hold is on Nick Marsh. It's Sims versus Marsh there, and Marsh tries to cross the face of Sims, and he just grabs onto that number 6. You see Childs hang around in the pocket and get it to the slot receiver. McCray, like you said, a guy out of Kent State, a man of action who has come here to Michigan State and shown off pretty well in camp.
Very familiar with Western Michigan is McCray. Keeping it on the ground again, and tripped up before he can get loose is Tolliver. Dylan Moore on the tackle.
And I think this was Tolliver's series, but his shoe just came off, so he's got to come out briefly. And the starter, Mekhi Frazier's coming on, along with the fullback, Jay Coyne, who's had a good game as well. And they're using that fullback in some real old school running concepts. You see Tolliver there running in his stockinged foot, but still getting positive yardage.
Keeping it on the ground again. Or not. Faking everybody out. That's Masunis again.
That was a really nice fake because they've been getting that motion of players just flowing to the left side, and Childs comes out to the right. Tight end wide open. Second time that they've targeted Masunis. Jack Velling playing in this game, but still a little beat up. And that's what happens when you have two receivers making plays. You're running the ball with efficiency. All of a sudden, the ball starts finding all kinds of different guys, and it creates offensive balance. That's what they're looking for here.
Heck of a play fake there. First down, Frazier. 101 yards before that carry. Let's make it 103. 104 to be exact. His first career 100-yard game. We talked about the fact he just had 7 carries all of last season. So
yeah, he's got to be feeling great about himself and what he can do. You know, you never know how many times you can carry the ball in the game and what load you can actually carry until it happens. And I think all 3 backs for Michigan State have shown themselves off pretty well so far tonight.
Tolis back in the ball game for Michigan State. And we have a penalty flag down. Michigan State with the false start. A perfect 3 for 3 in the red zone tonight, making it slightly more difficult on this drive.
Jonathan Smith expects things not to be perfect, but I know they're really hoping for a clean drive here, and they have a good looking drive going, but setting themselves back there. Second most in the Big Ten with penalties last year, and that's something that's got to improve if they're going to improve.
Childs on 2nd and 13. Pressure coming. They got him again. Camden on the sack. That's sack number 4, and Childs slow to get up.
He just did not see James Camden, the graduate transfer out of Murray State.
Looks like he's kind of holding that arm a little bit. Here's the sack. Camden off the edge. knocks the ball down. Western Michigan recovers. Back after this. Welcome back to East Lansing. Michigan State quarterback Aiden Childs slow to get up from the sack. They were checking out his shoulder, but he looks to be
looks like
okay.
He's going to be all right.
So that's good news. Big sigh of relief for that entire Michigan State sideline. Western Michigan keeping it on the ground. Alex Van Sumeren on the stop. Here's another look at the play.
Yeah, untouched. You just couldn't get to him on the blitz pickup was Tullis. James Camden forces the fumble and a big sack on Childs. It looked like he put that arm down and kind of popped his shoulder a little bit going to the ground. They checked it out, and then Childs got up and started working out. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Quick pass to the outside is complete. That's Avion Chenault. And again, it's Brock Lowry in at quarterback. Brady Jones got the whole first half, got a series here in the second half, and Brock Lowry's the man of the moment right now.
They've had a tough time on offense. It hasn't been all bad. There's been some positive moments for Lance Taylor and Walt Bell's offense here. Defensively, I think they've played better here in the second half. There's no denying that. The numbers say that as well.
Lowry getting chased, gets rid of it.
Great tackle.
Tremendous tackle. Jalen Buckley's a big load to bring down. Jordan Hall got in there.
Great size on Jordan Hall. His coach Rossi thinks he's an NFL linebacker. Only a junior. Fresh body, didn't play that much last year. He played, but not as much as he's expected to play and be the captain of the defense this year.
Started about 6 games as a freshman, primarily a backup last year, and that is off the hands of Jalen Buckley. And Hall not only a captain, along with Nikai Martinez, who we haven't seen tonight, the starting safety. Those are probably the best 2 defensive players for Michigan State.
Yeah, and they've gotten some rush end stuff. We've seen David Santiago doing some good things. We saw Lafayette a little bit in the first half. Other linebackers that have shown out. Wayne Matthews has looked okay. Been pretty solid at corner, but still a developing defense. Really strength in numbers is what they're looking for. They have a lot of guys they feel that can play, that they can move in and out of the game.
Lowry looks to the left, keeps it himself, and he's not going anywhere. Isaiah Mua, they call him the Iceman.
Ice Moa, transfer from BYU. He's a third down edge guy that they like, and there he is. It's third down, and he's on the edge. And he takes an interesting route on that blitz across the line of scrimmage at an angle to get to Lowry. Nicely done there on what I believe was a quarterback draw that they called. Good series recovering from the turnover for the Spartans.
No more punting again. Kelly calls for the fair catch. So the season opener here tonight, and things get interesting. Boston College, Youngstown State, USC, Nebraska. They got Michigan on the 25th.
And that looks hard, but it's better than last year. Last year, Michigan State had a brutal schedule. They had to play Oregon and Ohio State 6 days apart. That Boston College game is pivotal. If they can get through the Eagles, then they'd be probably looking at 3-0 headed out to the Coliseum on September 20th. USC, a little bit of a mystery this year. We saw Nebraska yesterday. Got a new quarterback.
Alessio Milivojevic, a backup that they like a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, they brought him in last year.
And right up the middle is Elijah Tolliver.
Sure, Aiden Childs wanted to go back in and feels okay, but you look at the score and 3 minutes left, and you just really would not want to put that young man in a situation where you hurt him and don't have him available for the next week. And they also really want to get a look at Milivojevic because they talked about him like he was really impressive. And Jonathan Smith doesn't say that about a quarterback. I remember Jonathan Smith saying that to me at Oregon State about Aiden Childs when he was a freshman and DJ Uiagalelei was the starter. So they feel similarly about Milivojevic and would like to get a good look at him tonight as you see Aiden Childs up and moving around and encouraging the offense, which is a good thing after what looked to be a potential injury situation on that sack fumble.
Well, I know they'd like to run a little bit of clock here, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they let Milivojevic throw. He has one career pass.
We saw it.
And it was an interception in our game against Rutgers, the season finale last year, which didn't go well for Michigan State. And they said they actually kind of felt bad that that's his one career pass attempt. So maybe he'll get another one here tonight. Keeping on the ground with Tau Tolliver. And he's gotten a lot of work late in the game. Saipa Ayo on the stop for Western Michigan. And
good for Tau Tolliver to get a vibe of what a Big Ten game, or at least playing for a Big Ten team, is like. Get some good carries in the second half.
He had nearly 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns last year at Sacramento State. And I'm sure Elijah Tau Tolliver is going to be watching this game just like the rest of us tomorrow. The Arch Manning era officially kicks off with a playoff rematch for the ages. It's #1 Texas taking on the defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes on Big Noon Saturday. Our coverage starts with Big Noon kickoff live from Columbus at 9 Eastern tomorrow on Fox. Look inside the numbers here. I still can't believe that this is the first time Texas has ever been preseason #1.
Hard to believe with Darrell K. Royal and all the things over the years. Colt McCoy.
Be so much
Vince Young.
NFL talent on that field tomorrow, the 20th game in college football history that's had the #1 team taking on the defending national champs for just the 20th time. Oh, picked off. It's Tate Halleck taking it to the house in his old stadium. What a moment it must be for that young man. The former Michigan State Spartan spent his first 4 seasons right here in East Lansing.
A great moment for Tate Halleck, who really is the captain of this defense, stepping in front and making a great snag on Alante Brown. Ill-advised pass, second throw, second pick for Milivojevic. Like you said, they wanted to get him a throw to feel better about it. I don't think that's going to do it. As you see Jonathan Smith come to him as he goes to the sideline. Something positive for the Broncos as far as the score goes. We talk about how their defense has played in the second half. You see Aiden Childs coming over and encouraging Milivojevic as well. Tough break for him. What a great moment for Tate Halleck back in the stadium here in East Lansing.
Have to feel great for that young man as they're going to go for 2. Brady Jones in at quarterback for the Broncos. Jones into the end zone. The intended receiver was Blake Bosma. He was falling down.
I have no idea why he went there with the ball. It looked like he had his man in the flat the way the play was designed and just did not throw it out there. Pretty well designed 2-point play by Walt Bell, but not executed.
Nonetheless, Western Michigan gets on the board thanks to this guy, Tate Halleck. And talk about the family ties here. He played here for 4 years. His dad, Ty, was a linebacker, fullback, and tight end. His brother, Tanner, was a walk-on. His sister is an all-Big Ten basketball player. Might just be the best athlete in the family. But he grew up going to Michigan State football games. And
he's a good-looking safety. I mean, he's 6'4". And we've seen him make some very physical tackles around the line of scrimmage. And despite the score, you see the smile on his face. And he's going to run down on kickoff, too.
Yeah, why not?
Stud.
tall, rangy kid.
I couldn't run down on kickoff after a pick six. I'd be breathing like a panther.
Domschke in to kick off for Western. And has to feel good, not just for Halleck, but for Western Michigan, just to get on the board here. You don't like leaving anywhere with a goose egg. Ball's running around loose, and it looks like Western Michigan may have recovered.
They got it.
Indeed they did, and they're going to have another chance here to potentially get on the board. That was Kevin Boone Nelson on the recovery for the Broncos.
Yeah, this is not the way Jonathan Smith wants his team to finish this game. They've looked a lot better in this one. We saw them work in this yesterday in their walkthrough. It is an odd-shaped ball, and it doesn't always bounce your way. This time it bounces the way. Very nicely done. Bounces the way of the Broncos. There'll be some situational teaching this weekend for Labor Day for both of these teams. An opportunity for Coach Taylor to finish this game maybe in a very interesting way. Only one timeout left for Western Michigan. And a long way to go for the end zone. Remember, their offense has not generated any points in this game.
Back to pass, and again, another miscommunication. It's a very similar situation to what we saw earlier in the game. And Jones and his receiver not able to get on the same page.
Yeah, that's Chenault that time. Brady Jones trying to stretch the field. That's what he does well with his arm talent. They're definitely seeing something different from the perimeter and the pocket.
$23-0 for a long time, and Western Michigan gets on the board.
They
courtesy of that pick six. They call grounding, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, there was, I guess, by the letter of the law.
Looked like the receiver just kind of cut off his route.
Yeah, felt like a miscommunication, but I guess it could still be grounding. Usually you don't see that call.
No, you almost never see that call.
Pereira's in bed getting ready for Big Noon.
Jones with time. And good pursuit by the defense. Jalen Buckley wrapped up right away by Jordan Hall. Uh-oh. Somebody has a problem with Petros. Mike's still alive.
His voice woke me up. His voice woke me up. Let me sleep, please.
Why'd they call ground in there, Mike?
Because they wanted to wake me up. That's why they called it.
Good job. Love you, Mike. Get some rest.
I'm glad to see Mike still here. Well, that one dumped off to Buckley, and that didn't go for much either. Ade Willie on the stop as we get to the 2-minute warning. 23-6. There's still interest in this game, folks. There's people out there it matters to, I'll tell you that much. 23-6. Michigan State still on top. We have 2 minutes to go, and who knows? Anything could happen here at Spartan Stadium. Two minutes to go here in East Lansing. Michigan State up 23-6. They had the shutout going until an interception returned for a touchdown by former Spartan Tate Halleck, who spent 4 years here in East Lansing. But for the most part, a good showing by this.
That's like Spartan Waldo there.
It's like where's Waldo? There's Waldo.
Is that an antiquated reference? I'm sorry.
Nobody under the age of 30 knows about Where's Waldo. Taking a shot and defended nicely by Chance Rucker.
Yeah, they brought a safety blitz, Malik Spencer, and that creates the one-on-one situation, which it looks like Jones saw. Throws it up there and gives Chenault a chance, but really well done by the young man out of Denton, Texas, who missed 10 games last year with an injury, Chance Rucker. Thought he should have picked it up, but I thought he did a good job just locating the ball and slapping it down.
Rucker going to be the third cornerback, as you alluded to, missed the vast majority of last season. looks like victory formation for Michigan State. And they did, for the most part, what they intended to do tonight.
I think they would have liked to have a cleaner second half offensively. What can you say about the defense? They gave up 0 points and had a safety. Offensively, a little bit more inconsistent, and that's what Jonathan Smith is talking about, consistency. And that means being yourself for 4 quarters. And that eluded them tonight. Give credit to Western Michigan, especially Dame Tucker and Tate Halleck and some other heroes defensively that stepped up and stifled the Spartans late. But I know Jonathan Smith would have liked to have a little bit more of the second half looking like the first half offensively.
They did give up 4 sacks, so there are some things to be cleaned up there. And we talked about this a little bit earlier in the game. A lot of rotation going on that offensive line. They're trying to find the right pairings on the left side and the right side. And you have your right tackle flipping a left tackle, and that's not easy. You know, we talk about that like it's nothing, but it's a very different feel, right?
No, all of it is very difficult, and all of it, trying to build a football team, is a seasons-long process. And I believe for the first game, especially compared to last year, that the people in East Lansing are going to be happy with what they see. This is a bowl team in Western Michigan that's had a lot of success, and they did a great job against what is a very good offense. And for Western Michigan on their side, you know, they really needed to improve on defense. And Chris O'Leary, that D coordinator, feels like a guy who's in the right role. They did a great job on defense in the second half.
Michigan State getting it done for our producer, Max Linewall, Derek Manning, our director, Andy Kavanaugh, Brett Elder, R.J. Hazen, our spotter, Chris Taylor here in the booth, and Petros Papadakis. I'm Dan Helly. Let's send it to the studio. Thanks for watching, everybody. What a fun night it was here in East Lansing.
All right, fellas. San Jose State lost All-American wide receiver Nick Nash. Of course, eligibility is gone, so we got to rely on the running game maybe this season. Floyd Chalk the fourth, hoping to do that part. 721 rushing yards last season. San Jose State and Central Michigan coming up next right here on FS1. Michigan State, they started off 3-0 last year before finishing 2-7, getting off to a really good start this year, knocking off Western Michigan 23-6. Mike Hill, it's Chris Peterson, Bruce Feldman hanging out with you. You heard the fellas talking about it. Defensively, Michigan State looked awesome in this football game. Maybe he had to work on a couple of things offensively, but a win is a win in their season opener.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm exactly thinking that. If I'm the head coach there, the win, yeah, the win is the win. But I think in your second year, first half, awesome. Defense, awesome. Second half, offense, did they forget that they were playing 2 halves? The drives went like this. They had 6 drives. It was 4 punts, a fumble, an interception, pick 6 when the seconds went in. Then they didn't recover the onside kick. So it's probably good because they started very strong that first half. But there's a lot to work on, especially on the offensive side.
Who knows Jonathan Smith better than this guy, by the way? Yeah. You know, it's interesting because you look at their schedule. They play a BC team that I think is a good test for them. Bill O'Brien did a pretty good job there. And then they got to go on the road at USC, at Nebraska. Now, the good side is they don't have to face Ohio State or Oregon on the schedule. I feel like I think they will take the next step. The next step is get bowl eligible. You know, we got to see a lot of stuff get cleaned up. Yeah. I think especially Aiden Childs, as talented as he is, we need to see better decision-making.
All right, we'll see what happens. Trying to end a string of 3 straight losing seasons for Spartan, of course, always tough in Big Ten play. Meanwhile, with Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders off to the NFL, will Colorado take a step back this year? Everybody wants to know that. Coach Prime's still there. His squad hosting Georgia Tech in their season opener. Prime is there. He's ready, locked in. Good to see him healthy and walking the sideline. Second play from scrimmage. Turnover is a huge issue for Georgia Tech early in this one.
Well, and it's always the first game, turnover, tackling, and special teams. They just always show up, so you see it right there out of the gate.
They had 3 turnovers in the first half, but Colorado only converted 1 of them. This one right here, Caden Salter, who replaces Shedeur Sanders, finds the Kalen Taylor for the 7-yard grab, 7-0. Later, though, Haynes King doing it with his arm and his legs. 4-yard touchdown.
He's a great runner. He really is. They're going to run him a bunch.
Tied at 13, a game late in the third quarter. Auburn and Baylor, this game over on Fox. And Jackson Arnold, the Oklahoma transfer, really getting a running start in his career at Auburn.
I don't think some people realize how dynamic a runner he is. Remember, he ran for over 130 yards against Alabama when they beat the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, he had a really good first half running the football in this one here. And as a matter of fact, Auburn's run game is the story in this game so far. See Damari Alston, 9-yard touchdown, 17-3, but on 4th and 9, Baylor, Dave Aranda will go for it. He's a gambler.
You're like, no, don't go for it. Yes, very good call.
Kobe Prentice, the Alabama transfer, doing it to Auburn right there in a Baylor uniform. Close game over on Fox. Western Illinois, number 12, Illinois, and Illinois looking good. You like this Illinois team to make it to the playoffs this year, Coach?
I mean, they got a big chance. They really do. If you look at the talent they have coming back and their schedule, they should have a really nice chance.
Yeah, Luke Altmaier, that quarterback there, they got 16 returning starters, of course, in Illinois out of the Big Ten, 10-win season for the first time since 2001. Off to a good start in this one. They're about to go to 1-0, 38-3 right here in the fourth quarter play. Tarleton State and Army, a close game, closer than many expected. Victor Gabalis to Dawson Hearn, 15-yard touchdown, tied at 24.
Bruce, where is Tarleton State?
It's somewhere in Texas, and I know they're known as the Texans.
There you go.
By the way, this is a good FCS program. They won 10 games last year.
Yes.
And they were battling. Ty Nix, a former SEC defensive coordinator, his guys were getting after it, kind of slowed. It was weird. Army
not just battling
as much as the run.
Hey, they won this game. Tarleton State winning a field goal in overtime. Brad Larson gets it done, and they win it 30-27. Of course, one of the biggest games of the year taking place tomorrow in Columbus. Big noon kickoff is there. Top-ranked Texas, number 3 Ohio State. Coverage begins at 9 a.m. Eastern on Fox. Star power Jeremiah Smith, Arch Manning, preseason number 1 team Texas on the road, taking on the defending national champions. Can it get any bigger than this, Bruce?
It can't. Honestly, you got everything you said, and to me, Arch Manning is the most intriguing player to make a debut. And when I say debut, now it's his team. Remember, he's football royalty, the first family of football with his uncles and his grandfather. Can't wait to see it, but it's a really hostile environment.
It's going to be hostile, and it's going to be especially hostile with that defense that Texas brings in there. Led by, in my opinion, the best defensive coordinator in the country, Pete Kwiatkowski. I was fortunate to coach with him at Boise and at Washington. He is a mad scientist. He's got 7 returning starters, about 3 All-Americans, and they recruit so well. Coach Sark and those Texas Longhorns, last 11 road games, all wins. They're not scared.
See what they do in Arch's road starting debut. It's time for more football. Let's get it out to San Jose, and the guys calling the game, Trent Rush and Will Blackman. We'll see you back here at the half.
Friday night college football.